Live. We're live? I think we are live. Hello, hello. Again, for the third day in a row. Welcome to the stream. We're going to be covering the tornado potential out here in Oklahoma, and also the tornado / severe potential down over here into Fort Worth, Texas, Dallas, Texas, Killeen, Waco, Claiborne. All have a cluster of storms heading your way. I feel like this isn't. Oh, 1 sec. Testing. Oh. Why does it sound all weird? Oh, no. Okay. It sounds better now. But hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Welcome. Today, we have got on the menu an enhanced risk out there for Cleburne, Corsicana, Gatesville, Sulphur Springs, McKinney, Sherman, Paris, Texarkana, Nashville, Prescott, and then also over here in Atoka, Ardmore. And then we've got slight risk around that and a marginal risk around that in the yellow and green. We got a 5%. Censor that. We got a 5% tornado risk out there for Fort Worth, Cleburne, McKinney, Dallas, Tyler, and Shawnee, Oklahoma City, Norman, Enid, Canton, Woodward, and Stillwater. I got a 2% around that. Wind potential today. We're expecting an MCS to eventually form and come over here through Sherman. What did I do? Oh, okay. What if I press W? Oh, that's cool. Over here, there's Sherman, Sulphur Springs, Mount Pleasant, Texarkana, and Paris. And then we got a 30% for damaging winds, up to 60-mile-per-hour winds and above over here near Claiborne, Dallas, Corsicana, and Fort Worth. And we got a 15% around that for the same thing in the yellow, and it's 5% for the same thing there in the brown. And then I think if I press H, it should go to the hail risk. No. Okay. Never mind. And then we got a significant hail risk out there for most of Texas going into Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Kansas. And we got a significant 30% chance over here as well for that significant hail, 2 inches hail and above over here near Fort Worth, Claiborne, Dallas, McKinney, Sulphur Springs, Paris, Sherman, Choctaw Nation, Atoka, Durant, Fort Townsend, Broken Bow, DeQueen, Idabel, Ashton, Texarkana, Tyler, Texas. And then we've got a 15% around that, extending all the way up into Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, down into the Texas-Mexico border with a 15% chance over here near Mississippi, Arkansas, into parts of Missouri and Kansas there with a 15% hail risk, and then a 5% around that as well. So we've got multiple threats to look out for today. Let's go bring up our models and look at our timing. So this is the latest HRRR model. And as you can see, we are expecting these storms that form near Texas, or in Texas, near Dallas and Fort Worth. They're eventually going to form into an MCS. Maybe before they do that, they might bring some significant hail into Fort Worth and Dallas. Still some question marks there on just how significant that hail will be, but some damaging winds will certainly be possible, up to 60 to 70. Maybe can't even rule out 80-mile-per-hour winds. And then as I push this through into 8 p.m., that's going to be moving off to the east, eventually into northeastern Texas, into the Louisiana, Arkansas region. Now, big question marks on what's happening over here in Oklahoma. This storm is technically not even supposed to be there, but it is. And so we'll be watching this one for tornado potential. As you can see, our tornado watch is more up to the north because there is a little bit of a higher potential for tornadoes up here. So we're going to be also watching these storms forming over there near Woodward and Tulsa. That's going to be mainly damaging winds with a little bit of a chance there for tornadoes, maybe earlier on around 9. And then eventually that's going to move off to the east. But we already have storms forming out over here in Oklahoma already. And as you can see, we got a storm over here warned for $half sized hail moving up towards Lindsay and just south of Blanchard. And that will eventually be moving into Norman. We do have PA storm trackers out there, so let me get that set up. So we'll put that there. There we go. There's PA storm trackers. They're out there in El Reno, home of the largest tornado ever to have happened in the United States' history, claiming the lives of many storm chasers, including including the one. Freak. I forgot his name. Dang it, Tim Samaras. Jeez Louise, brain's a little fuzzy this morning, including Tim Samaras and some of his chasing partners, and also famously flipped over the Weather Channel truck with Bettis in there, and they survived, thankfully. But I think it also claimed another Storm Chaser's life, but not. I don't think that one is talked as much as Tim Samaras on the Twist X team. But yeah. Yeah. Mm-mm-mm. Sykeston, Missouri, so far has been rated EF3 yesterday. Wow. That is, oh yeah, I think I saw that actually. Yeah, I did see that. Never mind. It's always hard to track which tornado is which. Boom, boom, boom. That. So I'm just checking things on my end just to make sure we're completely ready to go. I think Pagey Tornado is going to be live later on today. Also, Patrick is going to be live. We'll use him as well. Like he's having a good stream too. Nice. Patrick's out there. We'll put him in this spot for now. We might move him to another spot later, but Patrick's out there. I don't know where he is though. Oh, he's in Bridgeport, Texas. Okay, so he's in Tejas, near the bridge area over there. Let me get this. There we go. Set up there. Patrick's out there. Love his. I really like his thumbnail style. Look at this thumbnail style. It's like an old video game. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. And then let me get I know Pagey Tornado. Let me make sure she's gonna be live later as well. Yeah, she is. She's gonna be live at 5. Let's go ahead and get her in a spot. There. Just to be ready. And then we'll put Stormrunner Media in Stormrunner's spot. There. That. Just doing some stream stuff. Hopefully you guys don't mind. That 4:30. So they're going to be live in 30 minutes as well. So that's good. We should have some Storm Chasers live soon, and we already got 2 live, one in Texas, one in Oklahoma. Back over here down into Texas, we actually do have some severe weather already ongoing. Out over here south of Stephenville, we've got wind and chill, 60-mile-per-hour winds with this storm heading up to the north and east. Eventually, that's going to try to make it into the Fort Worth and Dallas area. Still not certain just how strong the hail will be, but the potential, the ceiling for these storms are going to be 4-inch hail. So hopefully it doesn't reach that in the Fort Worth, Dallas area because that'll be very bad. Back over here near Lano, this storm is struggling, but it could have some 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds in there. And this one over here near Hamilton, Texas, has one $half sized hail there as well. So we're going to be watching these storms in the Dallas-Fort Worth area too. And we're going to have these storms down here, and then we're going to have these storms over here, and then we're going to have random little storms over here in the Louisiana, Mississippi area, that and also now in Alabama, where we will have some severe thunderstorm potential out there. And then back over here in the Northeast, believe it or not, we have some severe weather in Pennsylvania and New York, heading towards Elmira, where we have also a severe thunderstorm watch. That is going to be for 20 to 50%, or 20% tornado, 50% wind, 40% hail, and a combined percentage of severe weather, 80% chance of severe weather. And at this point, it's at 100%, as you can see. But I'm going to be watching for a little bit of a tornado threat out over here. It's not very elevated, but it is technically possible. We do also have some severe weather over here near St. Johnsbury, north of Chelsea, and another storm back over here south of Newport. There in New Hampshire. There, and we got some storms in southern Vermont, in southeastern New York, about to move into southern Vermont. with some 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds as well. So couple little areas to watch with the most dangerous severe weather being possible over here in the Fort Worth, Dallas area. Then also whatever actually ends up happening over here in Oklahoma as well, with our highest tornado potential further up to the north, because the ceiling today is technically pretty high for these storms to produce some decent tornadoes, decent sized tornadoes. So that'll be something that we are watching with a close eye for sure. Do you think the Oklahoma cell would need mergers? No. I mean, it'll probably mature by itself. It actually looks like it's going through a left split at the moment. This one will probably rocket off to the north. And then we should maybe see this storm maybe take a little bit more of an easterly trajectory. This one's probably going to go up into Mustang eventually. If it does the typical split that we're used to seeing. The London tornado was devastating. Yeah, it was very, very sad. No, I did not see that. Storm chaser. Can I look back at the severe thunderstorm warning in architecture? Now, we got a little severe thunderstorm warning over here, just south and east of El Dorado. Just warned for ping pong ball-sized hail moving up towards Strong, Arkansas. So you guys need to be indoors and away from windows. This guy's currently moving off to the north and east. We're going to make a pretty close approach to like Monticello and McGee eventually with that hail threat. And then also a couple of these storms might eventually become severe as well. When do you need to head over to your mom's? Move this actually. Here. Let me see. So the storms down over here in Dallas, or south of Dallas, should eventually be into the Dallas area and close to Wolf City by around 6 to 7 p.m. So I would start heading there by now, or, just hang out for a couple of hours. It'll lower your anxiety levels. You won't have to be rushing or anything like that. So I'll just go over there and hang out. You got about 3 hours, potentially, until the storms get there. If you didn't tip me off last night about the bathroom break. I didn't even see it, Lynn. What did you say? Wait, I think I remember. Didn't you say that was quick? I think you did say that. I remember a surprising amount of chat messages. It's okay. I'm used to that. People always say that because I have a fast bathroom technique. We use alcohol wipes to sanitize. Just tuned in. Did he say what time the tornado threat is supposed to start? It's starting right now. I mean, these storms can eventually become tornadic. This one up here could become tornadic. These ones down here could become tornadic. There's tornado potential already, but so far no storms are tornadic. Going live a little bit later than what we usually do today. Because I just don't feel like being live for forever. Also, tomorrow, we're going to have even more severe weather. By the way, didn't know if you guys knew that or not. We have a slight risk, and 2 little areas of enhanced risks out here. Kind of looks like a boomerang slight risk. And these storms are going to kind of move off, kind of die off, bringing a little bit of a severe potential over there into Nashville and Alabama. Oh, let me go to 18Z. There we go. Over there. And then eventually, we're going to have some even more storms forming over here. Potentially tomorrow, if the cap does break, could have a decent amount of storms forming off of what we call, if we come over here to the dew points, the warm sector, open warm sector. So we're going to have to watch those storms as they mature throughout the day. You can see they're firing over there near the Oklahoma City area by around 3 p.m. Surface-based CAPE is honestly pretty elevated. Sitting over there near 4,000 to 5,000 joules per kilogram with some isolated areas close to 6,000, kind of like today. Significant tornado parameters also elevated up there near those storms because we have decent lower level shear in the area, about 30 to 40 knots of that lower level shear and some decent upper level shear as a trough ejects into the region. So an enhanced risk will be possible tomorrow. And if we come over to our tornado risk, you will see that we also have elevated tornado potential. I got a hatched risk issued for Hutchinson, Wichita, Great Bend, Salina, and Emporia. And then we've got a 5% around that. So strong tornadoes will be possible as these storms move up to the north, with that tornado threat starting pretty much as soon as they fire, and then some strong tornadoes possible as we go later into the night, probably sometime starting around like 4 to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 p.m., going into 11 p.m., 12 p.m., 1 a.m. So definitely some tornadic potential again tomorrow. So that's what you need to know. Back down here, further down to the south, after those storms fire near Oklahoma City, you could have even more storms fire over here near the Dallas, Kenny area, bringing some large to very large hail possible, and also some damaging winds as those move off to the east. Smaller tornado potential further down to the south, but you can't completely rule it out, especially back over here near on the southeastern portion there of Oklahoma going into Arkansas. You watch Storm Chasers. Nice. Well, we got Storm Chasers here today. We've got, so far, Patrick is out there in Decatur, Texas. And then we've got PA Storm Trackers, who is also out there in El Reno, Oklahoma. You can see actually atop of what looks like a thunderstorm out over there. And then just kind of looking a little sunny over here in Decatur, Texas. Not quite sure. Where is Decatur? Decatur, Texas. Got a blowing. That's Illinois. Okay. There's a lot of Decaturs out there. There's even a Decatur near me. All right. Okay, so he's over here. So Patrick is probably driving to intercept these storms eventually there in Texas. Ground ripped up. I'm tired of looking at damaged photos. Sorry, I can't take any more of that. Not going to look at that. North of Fort Worth. Yeah, north of Fort Worth, these storms will have some severe potential. Near like the Denton, McKinney area. Still some question marks. If these storms still stay, like if they stay clustered, it's going to be hard for one to kind of become a dominant hailstorm. So really just monitoring, honestly, for now, these storms to cluster up, maybe mainly into like a damaging wind threat. That might be the main risk for Fort Worth if that hail risk never gets started. But I mean, we could be talking about 70 to 80 mile per hour winds, which could knock out a lot of power in the Fort Worth and Dallas area. So it's definitely something that you guys want to be paying attention to as these storms approach, because they should cluster and turn more into an MCS over the next hour or two. If you live in like a crappy built house, probably should be finding some friends to stay with today, just in case. Corsicana. Okay. What about a Chickasha one? This one up here near Oklahoma. Is that the one you're talking about? Chickasha. Let me see where Chickasha is. Yeah. This storm right here. I thought you guys were over here. It's got $50 sized hail there. It looks like that left split actually never happened. It looks like it tried to split and then re-merged. So maybe a failed split just occurred with this storm. It said, come back here, and then took that storm back in. And yeah, some $50 sized hail. It's going to come close to Chickasha. Looks like you guys are getting some pretty close lightning strikes out over there in the Chickasha area. If it keeps on its current trajectory, you might see a couple hailstones. Maybe. Yeah, this is going to be the first threat, though, over here for the Oklahoma City area. Not really sure where all the storms are going to fire today. It looks like it's going to be kind of few or far in between, but definitely probably our highest chance of storms initiating is in northern Oklahoma, with these storms kind of being a question mark on whether or not they'll be able to battle the cap that's out here and actually be able to initiate, which is why they kind of issued the 5% tornado risk a little bit later than expected. A little bit of uncertainty. Tonight, the Dallas Stars have a huge game. I know American Airlines Center is sold out. Is that an indoor stadium or is it outdoor? So today, Wampum. Wait, what? What does Wampum mean? Over here near Hamilton, looks like they just upgraded this severe thunderstorm warning up to half-dollar sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds heading over towards Goldthwaite and Hamilton. Today won't be as bad as yesterday. It actually, yeah, no, definitely will not be on the caliber of yesterday. You're right. But we could have a few storms. Like yesterday, we had a bunch of strong storms with a bunch of strong and dangerous tornadoes. Today won't be as many strong storms, but a couple of them could still carry strong tornadoes. So there is that risk today. The ceiling is actually quite high, depending on what these storms do. But again, it's not going to be tons of storms today. It's going to be only a couple. And thank you, Mary, for the $20. I do appreciate it. She says, thank you, Evan, here from Fort. Wait, for being here, Fort, for your community. Oh, for your community. Yeah, no problem. No problem. And thank you guys for being here for me. You guys got to understand, like, the only reason I'm here right now is because of you guys. You guys, if it wasn't for you guys, we would be homeless or working at Papa John's Pizza. Maybe even McDonald's. I've always wanted to work out at McDonald's for at least a month. Apparently, it builds character. How's the pupper? He's still not eating, but he's eating the chicken. So that's all that matters. He's eating the chicken. He's drinking water. He's not eating anything else. He's not eating his food. Nothing. Except for the chicken. We wouldn't be here if not for you. Well, that's a guarantee. Yeah. There's no physical possible way you could be here at this channel without me having this channel. At least he's eating something. Yeah. Definitely not as healthy as his regular food, but we're just trying to get him to last till Tuesday so he can get his teeth figured out. Going back to Dallas and seeing will there be any DVD sized hail? I don't know. As of right now, it's looking like these storms are struggling to be more like more isolated. We kind of need more of isolated storms here to get that big hail risk. And it seems like they're already clustering, which would mean that they're probably going to struggle to produce some strong hail or big hail. Maybe down on our southern storm over here, but I'm looking at more of a damaging wind risk with these storms, to be honest. For now, we'll see. I like the map behind me. Yeah, we are. Yeah, we did a vote yesterday in chat on whether people liked it on the left or the right. Thank you also, Maya, for the $5. You tagged me in some upstate New York cloud structure. Let me see. That I'm cool to see. Please don't tag me in any news from yesterday. My brain is oversaturated with that kind of stuff. And I've seen a lot and it sucks. And I'm tired of, I don't want to get more depressed than I already am for the folks out there in Kentucky. That was extremely impactful day yesterday for a lot of folks. I don't see the tag. The storm is heading towards Granbury, Texas. Let me see. Granbury. I did not spell it right. As usual. There is no D. Okay. Granbury, Texas. Sunday, an outbreak day. Maybe. Could be, but I think the 2 days that are really Really sticking out to me is going to be Monday and Tuesday, in my opinion. This is Monday's threat. Got a enhanced, pretty large enhanced, a lot more flow, maybe a little bit less of a capping problem. And then going into Tuesday, it's looking pretty dangerous over here in the southeast as well. So gonna have a couple of days. Things are going to get a little interesting. And I think today and tomorrow are going to be pretty conditional, but we could definitely see a couple of high-end tornadoes on both days. But I think we'll have more widespread severe weather and a tornado threat on Monday and Tuesday. But I do think Sunday could definitely have a big NATO, just like today. Really just depends on what happens. It's pretty conditional. Looks like Chickashaw's actually going to get impacted by the storm. Weird little movement on this. Kind of have like a left split happening again, maybe? Storm's definitely fanning out quite a bit. Maybe some hail yet for the Chickasha area. Did he really survive that? The 2x4 strike? Chickasha. Gotcha. How am I feeling about more Oklahoma? Gonna be hit or miss. Again, it really just depends on what this storm does. If it can maintain its strength. Let's go look at the mesoscale analysis. So we've got a lot of surface instability coming all the way up into this area. We got like that storm over there is in like 5,000 joules per kilogram. These storms back over here are already developing a cold pool, so they're probably going to transition more into a damaging wind threat there in the DFW. But again, could see a lot of power outages. Definitely don't want to be, and maybe even a couple of QLCS tornadoes cannot be ruled out. Kind of like what happened. Well, actually, not really what happened in St. Louis yesterday. Probably not even close. But definitely some shenanigans could still happen, even if the hail threat doesn't materialize for the Fort Worth and Dallas area. Our 850 millibar jet is pretty weak right now, but it is supposed to strengthen as we go overnight in the area. But before that even gets started, what we're going to be looking out for are storms to interact with this boundary, this little warm front up here. And this storm over there in the Oklahoma City and Norman area is actually pretty close to that warm front. If it can latch onto that warm front and become a right-moving supercell, we're going to have some issues, which is really why I'm live right now. That's why I decided to issue it earlier than I was thinking. Maybe I'll just wait until the first tornado touches down and then I'll go live, because I honestly really don't want to be live that long today. We've really got to plan this just perfectly, because we're going to have to go live probably 11 hours tomorrow, 11 hours the next day, and 11 hours the next day, and I'm not even sure if that's physically possible at this point. But yeah, watching this storm is close to that warm front. It could latch onto it, produce a tornado. So we're watching out for that. That's going to be doing all of that pretty close to the Oklahoma City and Norman area. And then these storms back over here further to the south have a little bit of vorticity, but that the cold pool's already developing. There's not a whole lot of upper level shear or SRH for them to, really become tornadic right now. So these are probably going to mainly be transitioning into more of a damaging wind threat. So that's kind of my thoughts right now at the moment. Yeah, I think, I wish I could do Max's strategy. His strategy is a good strat. He doesn't have to go live all day. He just goes live as soon as the first tornado touches down, which is like right there at the peak when everybody's like, oh my gosh, something's finally happening. Tornado warning's a tornado warning. But when you actually have your first tornado on the ground, that's when you know the event is starting. And so he hits it right at the peak of impressions. But if I tried to do that, I would go live at the exact same time as Max. Ryan would already be live, and I would probably only get like a quarter of my audience. So we gotta still be a little bit strategic. There is some strategics involved in when I go live. Well, I will not I'll be transparent about that. What is that? Is that a fire? Oh wait, no, that's a that's a blood splatter. Never mind. I thought that was smoke, but it was just probably a mosquito getting absolutely smushed on the windshield. $1,000 views is less than $5. That is not true. That sounds like how much you make with like shorts, maybe. I think 10,000 views on my channel, like if you're just doing like ads and you get no donations, I think it's like $20 on live streams, and for videos it's like $40. I think maybe it's a little bit more than that. It might be a little bit more than that. You got monetized last month. That's what you're averaging. Are you just doing shorts, Ryan? Only made $40 so far. Yeah, it's really not that much money if you're just getting ad revenue. It's kind of dookie. The best, like, and it also depends on like what kind of content you're doing as well. Weather, thankfully, has a decent CPM. So how much it costs? I think it's called CPM. It's just how much money you get per 1,000 views. It's decent. Like financial is decent. But like if you're a gaming channel, I think it's like a lot less. Oh, this storm over here in Arkansas is our first, I think our first significant storm of the day. Now warned for a 2-inch hail. Over there, just to the east of Strong, still moving off to the north and east towards Fell Senthil National Wildlife Refuge. Jeez. It exists, but it's very bad. Yeah. I don't know much about other platforms, to be honest. Yeah, back over here. Yeah, still 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. Looks like our storm is now near Granbury. We live near Granbury, Texas. Make sure you're indoors and away from windows. And after Granbury, we're going to be talking about Fort Worth. Fort Worth, Texas for this storm. And then we got this one that's actually moving in the opposite direction, or almost in the opposite direction of that one. 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds moving towards Gatesville. Yeah, CPM, I think that's right, yeah. People are talking about tea in chat. That's never good. Is there a rotation in the Arkansas storm? No, it's mainly just a hailer. Mainly just a hailer right now, no rotation. Back over here, though, we got another severe thunderstorm warning for 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds there in Mississippi as well. Yeah, it looks like they are. Yeah, it looks like this storm has officially split here. This one is going to be moving towards Tuttle, Newcastle, and Mustang next. This one has 1-inch hail on it. And oh my gosh, this one's already warned?
A new tornado warning has been issued.
Okay, well, it's fast. To be fair, it really doesn't have that much rotation on it, but they have issued a tornado warning on it. But it, who knows? Maybe it tries to produce a tornado here, like a small one. That is possible, even with not a whole lot of rotation. Sometimes it can produce a small NATO. So if you live over there near Bradley and Lindsay, that would be in your safe spots. We have a tornado warning for your area. Again, that's Bradley and Lindsay. The good news is, at least for the Oklahoma City area, is that our right split is going to be more of a tornado threat. And as you can see, it's already moving along that warm front. And then our north split, well, I guess this is bad news if it becomes a big hailer. This one could become a big hailer. Usually north splits are more big hailers and are And our south split or our right split is more of a tornado threat. This one will probably move to the east along the warm front. And then this one up here will probably move straight up to the north and become more of a hail threat here for like Amber, Bridge Creek, and Tuttle. Is it a supercell? It certainly is, actually. It's definitely a supercell. Definitely a supercell. Let me see if I can find any Oklahoma cameras. That are live? Oklahoma City that are live? Pretty sure. Yeah, we got tons of live cameras in the Oklahoma City area. So let's go ahead and just get that set up. I don't know if they're going to go south per cell, though. They don't. That's unfortunate. This camera's looking to the south, though. Yeah, you can't really see it. Bummer. And I don't think any of our storm chasers are near these storms because this storm wasn't really supposed to fire here, and it has. Yeah, latest scan, that rotation is kind of gone. There's definitely a lot more rotation aloft. But that rotation that was near the surface is just like instantly fizzled. Let me check this radar. Yeah, this radar's still showing some. This one's looking more towards the surface. So there's definitely some rotation, probably pretty evident on if you're like there looking at the storm. You're in Norman. Well, this thing should go to your south. As you can see, it's already pushing to the east. It's already riding that warm front, which is probably why they've thrown a warning on it pretty much immediately. Because it's riding that warm front. It's an eastern mover. It's going to have that instability, that extra vorticity along the warm front. And that's going to allow this storm to produce a tornado. And potentially even a strong one. So if you live over here near Lindsay, Bradley, Oklahoma, you need to be in your safe space or safe spots. This storm's DBZ is also starting to pick up. I would expect an upgrade on the hail on this storm here in a little bit. Preemptive, but good call. Yeah, I think this one is more. They do that sometimes. It's more of a warning due to the environment around the storm, rather than the storm actually, having that potential. Where the heck is Pennsylvania storm trackers? It said they're in are they still near Arena? I would assume they'd be traveling south. But it says they're traveling east.
Yeah, we could have just stayed at our hotel.
But I'm not sure. They were just sitting there for a while. I'll tell you what, I honestly, like half the times, I just don't know what the storm chasers I use are doing. Because I feel like I chase very differently. I'm like a fly to storms. I kind of just don't care what they're going to do or what their potential is. I just kind of, whenever I chase, I just go. If I see a storm blowing up, I just go. And then my entire existence after that is just, I don't know. But like, I can look at the meso analysis though. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just, I look at the meso analysis, I instantly understand it. And that's why I went live, because I knew the storm was firing and was about to latch onto the warm front. So if I was chasing out here and I was like near Oklahoma City or like Seminole, as soon as this storm started to initiate, I would have been driving there. Because if it doesn't do anything, then you can just drive somewhere else. Thank you, Dark, for the 5. Thank you so much. Drive Discord, yeah. It should be in my description, but if it's not, I think one of our mods can give you something. How's Dallas and Fort Worth looking right now? You guys got storms coming. Still, I haven't seen the hail threat get much stronger, but still watching these storms. This is one in channel. Again, the ceiling for the hail threat with these storms are quite high if they can get there. But as of right now, they're a little bit clustered. There's plenty of instability, but there's a little bit of a cold pull surging out ahead of these guys. So it is a little bit of a question mark on whether or not these guys will truly become a very large hail threat or not. I'm back over here to Arkansas. Check in on this guy. And still looks like they've extended this warning to the north for that 2-inch hail towards Hermitage. It's Hermitage, Arkansas. Notice don't really like certain people. You don't know why? I can tell you why. Especially well, I know why it happens in the weather space. I don't know why it happens in other places, but like if like say you go live like right next to a big creator, like their channel is sending notice to like all of your potential audience. And so it instantly creates this just giant algorithmic wall that if you just don't have enough subscribers, you will not be able to break down that wall. And they will take anybody that ever tries to even look for weather from that point on. I think it's BS, but it is what it is. We're just too small. But yeah, latest scan over here with the storm. Still some decent rotation on this storm, and maybe perhaps a little bit stronger than it was. So if you live over there near Bradley and Lindsay, you guys need to be in your safe spots. This is slowly moving off to the east and heading towards Bradley and Lindsay. This is in Oklahoma, south of Oklahoma City, south of Newcastle and Blanchard, and down over there near Lindsay and Bradley. This storm is pretty close to the warm front. I would not rule out a quick tornado out of this guy. Yeah, if you go live or like post a video around when someone else posts, when their notifications go out, they're going out to all like not just to their audience, but some of their audience is going to be your audience, especially if you're a smaller channel. And so YouTube is only going to notify that person like once every hour or like twice every hour, rarely twice. Usually it's just once. So if their noties go out before you, your notifications will likely not go out to the audience that you share with the bigger creator. That's like one of the main things that causes it. Oh, yeah, look at this. Rotation's getting even stronger here on this storm. It's getting even stronger. Tight circulation now exists in this storm right now. This is pretty darn close. I wouldn't be surprised if there was even a funnel on this storm at this moment. Let me see what we got out here in terms of cameras. And we got Storm Runner Media. That's all that. Yeah, they don't have any storm chasers that are around here, unfortunately. So if this one drops, this is going to be if a tornado drops and there's no camera around, does anybody see it? Did it even exist? And unfortunately, it does. We do know that answer. It does exist. So if you live out over here near Bradley and Lindsay, you guys need to be in your safe spots. This storm is getting pretty close to producing a tornado. Yes, that's exactly right. Yeah, tornado warnings don't always mean there's a tornado on the ground. At this point, we actually could have a tornado on the ground, but we don't have any reports yet out of this storm. But yeah, at this point, it may or may not be on the ground. We don't have a new update from anybody yet. That is in the area. I'm wondering if there is anybody in the area, and there is. We do have a storm chaser that's on the storm that we have access to. And there is not a tornado on the ground at the moment. But it actually seems like there might be a funnel. Maybe not. It's kind of hard to tell. Could be Scud or a funnel. We'll use them, but they're $50 an hour, so we will wait until the storm actually produces. But I got a good look at it. But yeah, if you live over there near Bradley and Lindsay, continue to be in your safe spots. Not a tornado on the ground with this storm yet, but it does still have some decent rotation on it. Maybe a scuttle. It could be. Or it could just be nothing. It's pretty flat base on the storm right now. There's honestly not even like a definite wall cloud that I can see right now. But I'm keeping my eyes on it. Yeah, latest scan on this storm looks like rotation is still there. South and west of Bradley seems a little bit weaker, though. A little bit weaker than the last scan. Are you kidding me? Oh, my goodness. Bryson DeChambeau just took first place in the PGA Championship, and then the next hole, he hits it in the freaking water. BS. All right. Let me see if I can get his Facebook because there's like been some weird things happening with Severe Studios website. Yeah, I'm keeping up with the third round. There we go. Yeah, let's go check out on this storm. Have they upgraded it? Oh yeah, look at this. We now got golf ball sized hail on this storm now. Heading into Bridge Creek and Tuttle, Oklahoma, here in Oklahoma City. So if you guys live in this area, please continue to be in your safe spots. Okay, you know what? We're getting this guy for an hour. That just looks crazy. It's a really cool looking storm. It is objectively a really cool looking storm. Look at that. Look at that structure. This is Jaden Pappenheim. This is the tornado warned storm. Thank you, Big Bag Wolf, for becoming a WIMD member. Thank you so much. As you can see, there's no tornado on it, but there's some really cool structure on this storm. In my opinion, you can see that thing over there to the right. That is a inflow tail. Very, very cool storm. And on the bottom right, you can see that he has a big old hail crack on his window. But this is the tornado warned storm. They're just to the south of Oklahoma City. We got a good view. Right where the tornado would fire would be right under that. News from St. Louis was big enough to reach Germany as well. Wow. That's impressive. Yeah, it looks like he is going to be repositioning closer to the storm. Maybe? Or maybe he's turning around. Nope. He's staying in the same spot. I do not know what's happening with the camera, though. It's freaking out. Okay, there. Camera was trying to focus on something. I think it's trying to focus on the hail crack. Yeah, let's come back over to here. We'll do that. And then where did I put him? Did I put him here? No. Put him here? Oh, wow. Okay, that's interesting. All right. Let me see where this pops up. That'll pop up there. And then we'll keep that there. And then I will do this. Oh my goodness gracious. Look at that storm. I'll put it in the bottom left. I'm about to bring that big screen, but I just want to get this positioned right so it doesn't take up too much of the screen. Go. All right. This is check out this structure. This is that tornado warned storm here in Oklahoma, and you can see that this thing has quite the updraft. It is quite the storm. You got that inflow band on the right side. Base of the storm is where a tornado would happen. And then just look at that updraft on this storm right now. It is quite insane. You can see the rotation aloft too. As you can see, our tornado warned storm over here near Bradley in Lindsay, Oklahoma, does not have a NATO on it at the moment. Look how long that inflow tail is. Jeez, that storm is packing. Was that hail crack there before? I guess it was. He zoomed out. He's got another big old hail crack on the top too. Look at that thing. If you guys are wondering, we're looking at this tornado warned storm right now. This is Oklahoma City's up here. And this down here, that's Bradley. Doesn't have much more rotation near the surface where it was, but I think it's in the process of recycling. So there is our old meso. Storm might be actually about to go through another split. Might be about to go through another split. Before it does that, we can just stare at it. As it could easily reorganize and then try to bring some more rotation again to it. I mean, it's still latched onto that frontal boundary, that warm front, and I think that's why the inflow tail appears so long. I think you care. All right, Carrie, we'll see you later. Viper radar is really good for reflectivity. The Viper color palette. That's the one I use. I really like it. Do they have audio?
Look at the structure on our tornado warned storm.
That was a good time to unmute it. I was thinking he was going to say more. But I guess he said all he needed to say.
We need to get down to Lindsay because of the road network. We got to drop south.
All right, looks like he's going to reposition. So while he does that, let me figure out something here. Let me do this. I want to move this to up here. That's horrible spot. Where's the best place to put this? I guess I could put it over here. That would make me mean that I have to do this. Put it over Brett. Actually, we can put it here. Which one? Who and where? That one's going to be Texas. He's going to be close to that storm eventually. So I'll put him here real quick. That. And that over that. Sorry. I haven't set up we haven't had that many chasers these past couple of days, so I haven't really had to set up that much. There we go. Chazzy, did you just fart? God, that's stinky. Chazzy, that's a stanky fart. All right, so that's that storm. We still got this one moving up into Oklahoma City with that golf ball sized hail. That's going to be moving up towards Mustang. And then further down to the south, we are still watching this storm over here near Glen Rose, Claiborne, and Whitney. And then we got another one over here near Mineral Wells with some $50 sized hail. This one down here has 1 inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. And then this one over here is heading into Gatesville, 1 inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. I see Pagey's apologize for yesterday's stream. Yeah, that was weird. I assume. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we used Bryce's stream, but apparently Paigey was live all day yesterday, but like just for somebody else. I don't think it was on purpose. I think that was just like the only way that she could get her info out. So I think that's what it was. Back over here near Arkansas and Mississippi as well, we still have these storms ongoing. Looks like they did drop this storm over here down to golf ball sized hail, heading up towards Hermitage, Fountain Hill. Then we also have this storm over here near Lake Providence. This one's got some 1-inch hail. Wouldn't rule out this one also having that significant hail potential to it. I think that, yeah, if I remember correctly. All right. But yeah, that's the latest. Looks like they have extended this off to the north, still with some golf ball sized hail. That's going to include areas like Oklahoma City, Bethany, Yukon, the Village, Edmond, and Piedmont. All need to be indoors and away from windows. And we also just got another severe thunderstorm warning back over here in Manchester, of all places. 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. Back over to our tornado warning. This is what it looks like on the ground. And as you can see, there isn't anything on the ground. But this storm could eventually try to reorganize. I think that old meso, or the old area of rotation, has officially occluded into our parent cell. And then eventually we're going to be getting a new area, as this storm is still latched onto that warm front. So I do still think that this storm has some tornado potential. And I wouldn't even rule out a strong tornado with this storm eventually. But right now, it's kind of only relying on the warm frontal boundary, which will probably help the storm become tornadic. But I'm not sure if it can nudge it into being a strong tornado. It's kind of a big question mark. That is the tornado warned storm here south of Oklahoma City. So we got eyes on it. We'll keep you guys in the know. Keep watching it too. Let me get my rate up R down here just so we can keep an eye on the storm while we're watching. How's the outlook for Weatherford today? Either damaging winds or large hail. Either damaging winds or large hail. Also just got a new severe thunderstorm warning out over here in southern Vermont for Bennington, Arlington, Manchester Center, and Rupert. And another one back over here near Lake Providence, here in Louisiana and Mississippi, for $50 sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. And that is the latest. Okay, it looks like the mesocyclone is officially occluded. So if this storm is going to try to latch back onto that warm front and start to rotate again, it should do that momentarily. Again, I still want Lindsay, Oklahoma, to be in their safe spots. Heading towards that storm near Lake Providence, Louisiana from the south. How is it looking? Let me go back to it. Yeah, it's got 60-mile-per-hour winds and $50 sized hail. I don't think it's going to be much of a tornado threat, but yeah, I mean, hail is definitely possible with it. So go get you some hail, I guess. Been picking up in Northwest OKC. Yeah, that's that. So back over here is where our low pressure system should be. And so wind should be picking up all across Oklahoma as that lower level jet slowly intensifies. Okay, it looks like they're extending this as a severe thunderstorm warning. 1.5-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds on it. Go back to the big screen. A little new area of rotation developing now, just west of Lindsay. So it looks like it is trying to reorganize something. Still doesn't have a very large inflow to it yet, so it still needs some time before it becomes tornadic there. Further up to the north, still watching this storm. Looks like our hailstorm is now going into the Oklahoma City airport. I will say the hail's not looking as intense as the warning says here. There still could be some golf ball sized hail. If you guys live in western Oklahoma, please let me know if you're still experiencing some golf ball sized hail up here. Back over here near the Fort Worth area, we're still keeping an eye on these guys. As you can see, there are some storms in the area. No rotation on these guys, but 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. This one over here near Mineral Wells is actually warned for $half sized hail. And then this one back over here near Whitney and Claiborne has 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds, pushing off towards the north and east. So I would continue to be indoors and well away from windows with that. And then back over here near Gatesville, we still have this storm approaching with 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds, no rotation. So still not much of a tornado threat here for Fort Worth, but our MCS is trying to get its act together. Thankfully, the hail is continuing to stay pretty small. Yeah, we got a chaser right next to that tornado warning in Oklahoma. Literally right on it. So we'll be keeping an eye on it. As soon as he gets repositioned, we should get a new view of the storm. And in fact, I think we're getting it right now. All right, so this is our tornado warned storm. And yeah, honestly, it's not that impressive looking. It's struggling, which is great news. But there should still be some rotation in there. Yeah, I mean, there still is a little area of rotation. So even though it doesn't really look like there's a wall cloud, there is rotation back in there. So a little noodle might come out of nowhere. And the rotation died on the latest scan, which is great news for Lindsay. I would say there's still technically some rotation, but probably won't even support a small NATO at this point. But given the fact that this storm is latched onto a warm front, wouldn't rule out gust NATO, maybe. Could still have some gust NATO potential. He just in the middle of the road. Okay. But yeah, that is the latest on this storm. Looks like it's going to need to recycle and figure out what it wants to do. If it goes north of that warm front, it is very possible that it will stop being tornadic for the rest of its life. And that could be it. Yeah, so we're getting another look at the storm. Yeah, that might be where that dying rotation is, right in there. That looks like it actually has a little bit of motion. Oh boy. Bad news, folks. We got bad news. We got now baseball-sized hail. Oh yeah, latest scan, you can see that hail core has gotten a little bit more intense, and we got baseball-sized hail now moving in to the Oklahoma City area. Can cause a lot of damage. So if you live over here near Yukon, Oklahoma City, Bethany, the Village, Edmond, and Piedmont, you guys need to be indoors and well away from those areas, or away from those windows. And if you live in a trailer, watch out. Large hail could be falling out of the sky and could be, I mean, baseball-sized hail. We've seen it sometimes.
New severe thunderstorm watch has been issued.
We've seen it sometimes, go through the roofs of those trailers and those mobile homes. So watch out. Very large hail is falling out of the sky. And for reference, that's baseball-sized hail. All right. So there's not really many other ways that I can, give you a mental picture. Just picture baseballs falling out of the sky. That is what the storm is capable of as it pushes into, unfortunately, parts of the metro here of Oklahoma City. So make sure you guys are sheltered in place for this storm. Definitely a dangerous situation, as there's a lot of folks that live out here. You don't want to get caught outside out over here in the Oklahoma City area. Definitely don't want to be caught outside. Storm doesn't look like much now, but that could change. Exactly. Exactly. This one and this one. I mean, heck, the ceiling for today is 4-inch hail, even up here. So I would not even rule out this storm still continuing to strengthen. This is an elevated storm. It's kind of the northern split. And like we said earlier, northern splits usually have that large to very large hail potential. And it seems like that is the case here with this storm. So just continue to be sheltered in place. Again, the storm is a PDS, severe thunderstorm warning. This is a destructive supercell, as you can see by our damage threat. As that hail, once you get, quarter-sized hail, might cause a little bit of dents. Ping pong ball sized hail might cause a little dents. If you're driving really fast, might cause a small crack in the window. Most likely not, though. It's usually when you get to that 2-inch hail and above, you're getting a lot of cracks in your window. And then when you get to baseball size, that's when you start to see that hail, sometimes, depending on how strong your windows are, go through the window. So if you live in Oklahoma City, Bethany, Yukon, the Village, Edmond, and Piedmont, I would be indoors and well away from those windows. Dangerous storm coming through. Back down over here in the Lindsay area, I would assume they're going to allow this tornado warning to expire. We do have some ping pong ball sized hail on this storm south of Washington, about to head into Purcell. But yeah, this storm down over here. Oh, no. Okay. I was wrong. Which happens. Yeah, it seems like they're being more precautionary than I thought they would be. There is not any rotation on this storm, but this storm is still technically latched onto the warm front. So it does seem like they're going to continue this warning due to the environment that is around the storm right now. So if you live in Maysville and Wayne, just know there's not a tornado on the ground. And in fact, the storm isn't really that tornadic right now, but obviously that could change in just a couple of minutes. As this storm could easily try to reform a new mesocyclone and a new area of rotation. And as long as it stays latched onto that warm front, a new tornado threat could easily develop pretty quickly. So just be in your safe spots over there in Maysville and Wayne. Back down a little bit further down to the south, let's come check back in on these storms near the Fort Worth and Dallas area. Oh my goodness, look at that. Oh, it went down. Yeah, look at that. That actually kind of looks like a wall cloud. Oh, looks like his service got kind of bad there at just the wrong time. But yeah, looks like there might be a wall cloud on that storm still. Best as I could tell. That's what it looked like to me, at least. All right, latest scan out over here. 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. Still moving off to the north and east towards Cleburne and Whitney, Hillsboro as well. And then over here near Gatesville. Now, we are still watching this storm near the Gatesville area with 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. And then back over here near Fort Worth. It's like you guys are dodging a bullet for now with these storms still kind of traveling off to the north, kind of away from the Fort Worth area. This one, yeah, I don't even think that one's going to hit it. So Mineral Wells still has the largest hail on it with that 1.5-inch hail or that ping pong ball sized hail coming your way. All right, back over here in Oklahoma City, still have the hail. Biggest hail is going to be right here over 240. There's Bethany's going to probably be next in line for this tennis ball size or for this baseball sized hail. Sorry, and then the Village as well. Oklahoma City looks like the hail core might miss you, but if you live in Oklahoma City, let me know if you're getting hail. It seems like the most intense hail is to your west. It's still warned for that baseball-sized hail. Let me see if any of our other chasers have gone live. Okay, looks like Storm Media is about to go or has gone live. Looks like they're traveling south to our tornado warning storm, but they are in traffic. Ouch. That always sucks. And then Paigey Tornado looks like she's going to get started here in a little bit as well. We got PA Storm Trackers. Looks like they are heading towards Tuttle. And we got Patrick now in Thackerville, Oklahoma. Marietta, Oklahoma. Looks like he's traveling north. So that's where all of our storm chasers are right now. Living in Yukon so far, no hail. Yeah, the hail hasn't made it there yet, but if you look outside, you can probably see the storm. It's like right on your doorstep. Um, Main hail core seems to be to your west, but again, these can like kind of spread out in weird ways. Not really pick up on radar too much. Sometimes you can get a big hailstone flung, farther away from the hail core than what the radar is saying. So there's still technically possibilities that some larger hail could fall in Oklahoma City and maybe also fall in Yukon. But our main core, or where the most hail will be, is going to be right over here, just north of Wheatland, kind of like near the southwest 29th Street and South County Line Road. That's going to be pushing up towards the north, towards Bethany, here shortly, there in Oklahoma City. Back up here to the north, seems like this storm might be trying to reform an inflow. You can start to see that rain, maybe a little bit of an RFD push on the southern side, which sometimes denotes the beginning of tornado genesis. So it looks like the storm is at least trying to organize a little bit better. Still not looking too dangerous on velocities just yet, but I'd still be in your safe spots there in Maysville because there's still a little bit of time for the storm to get to you and a decent amount of time for it to try to re-strengthen. As long as it's supposed to last, you'll be driving through OKC in less than 3 hours. Not that long, no. I mean, you'll be fine. Depending on where you're driving from, though. I mean, if you're driving from like north of Oklahoma, then you might just drive right through this hailstorm. If you're driving from the south, from Texas up into Oklahoma, then you might run right into a tornado. So it depends on where you're driving from is what your threat is. Is this a prank? No, this is not a prank. What a terrible prank that would be. What the heck? Hey guys, it's a large and extremely dangerous tornado in Oklahoma City. Haha, just kidding. You got pranked. Jeez Louise, that would be like, I think you could go to jail for that. I think that's how serious that is. I think you could like legitimately go to jail for something like that. No, but this is real, not a prank. Not a prank, I promise. This is real deal. We got a tornado warning storm here in an environment that is favorable for tornadoes. It has not dropped the tornado yet, but it's trying. It's trying to reorganize the structure of the storm. Right? We haven't seen an inflow on this storm in a while. We are starting to see an inflow now, so it is starting to get a little bit more of that warm and moist air. It's tapping into that instability. Now the question is, how long does it take for the storm to relatch onto that warm front? Will it be before Maysville, Oklahoma, or will it be after Maysville? Those are the questions that we have here for now. But as long as it stays on the warm front, unfortunately, it's not really much of a question of whether or not it's going to produce a tornado or not. As long as it stays latched onto that warm front, it'll most likely produce a tornado. Time are they going to hit Tulsa? Really just depends. These storms aren't going to hit Tulsa. This one's just probably going to keep tracking off to the north of our boundary. We should have storms fire by around 9. I think Tulsa's threat's going to be early this morning. All right, let's come back over here and check in on Oklahoma City, where we still have some potentially large hail here. Still warm for baseballs. Are you guys witnessing any baseballs down here? Just curious. But that hail is still west of the downtown Oklahoma City area, still just south of Bethany. For 70 dew points ahead of the OK storms. Yeah, I mean, it's a great environment, unfortunately, for severe weather out here. And where this storm is right now, it's a great environment, unfortunately, for a tornado. Can't even rule out technically a large and extremely dangerous tornado with this storm, but all of the right things would have to go right for it. But it's technically not impossible. Still waiting for Jaden out over here to get into the path of the storm. Again, we still have a storm chaser right next to this thing. This is Jaden Pappenheim. He's close. He's over there near Lindsay, and he's trying to stay ahead of the storm. So if a tornado drops, we will see it. He'll get us a view. Yeah, he's over here just behind. I can't tell if I think he's just in the inflow of the storm, actually. I think he's just ahead of it. Yeah, he's definitely just ahead of it. Probably going to turn around here soon, and we should get a view of it pretty darn shortly. Aren't my hotkeys working? That was weird. All right. Yeah, latest scan here. Yeah, the storm is now definitely still trying to improve its structure here. See, that inflow is still forming, and now it definitely seems like we have got quite the mesocyclone on this storm developing here. And if you live in Maysville, I'd still be in your safe spots, although it seems like where the tornado portion of the storm would be is to your south. If this thing drops a tornado and then immediately occludes, it could still hit Maysville. So I still want Maysville to be in their safe spots. And if you live in Paoli, I'd be ready to go to your safe spots. Also, Paul's Valley in Oklahoma as well should probably be in their safe spot, or not in their safe spots, but ready to go to your safe spots. And again, we're watching down here for rotation to develop. We don't have any strong rotation yet, but that could develop here shortly. As long as this storm continues to improve the way it is interacting with the environment. Because as long as it's mature, as long as it's got an inflow, and as long as it's lashed onto that boundary, that warm frontal boundary, it will definitely make an attempt again, most likely here within the next 20 minutes, if I had to guess. Back over here near Oklahoma City, storm is still warned for baseball-sized hail. That's about to move into Bethany here shortly. So if you live in Bethany, make sure you're still indoors and away from windows. And then over here to the west of the village, seems like this hail core is moving just mainly due north. So it might go to the west of the village and just miss you, but there still could be some hail getting flung out there. So Piedmont, Edmond also have to be ready to go for this baseball-sized hailstorm there in Oklahoma City. We'll play this out just for a couple of times for you guys so you can see where the general direction of this storm's hail core is. Just keep your eye on that purple. Doesn't seem like the hail core is as intense, though. So I'm wondering if like a downgrade's going to come. That's why I keep asking you guys what you guys are experiencing over here, because it doesn't seem like the hail core is as intense as they say. So back over here near Fort Worth, still watching these storms. $50 sized hail, now moving up into Mineral Wells. Could just mainly be some heavy rain, though. It's kind of hard to tell. Back over here to Whitney and Cleburne, 1 inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds on that guy. It looks like they're going to extend this severe thunderstorm as a special weather statement, which is a big downgrade over there near Waco. Everything going up here. Okay. Nothing too crazy happening up there. All right, and that's the latest. Let me see where our other storm chasers are. I know Storm Runner Media is trying to make it to this storm. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is what the storm looks like from the north. And man, they are not making it to this storm, folks, unfortunately. Oh, wait, never mind. They got past the traffic. Sorry. Sometimes the stream gets behind. They might make it. I think it's going to be, they're definitely going to make the hail core. Pagey's not live yet. And looks like PA Storm Trackers is still near Tuttle. And still waiting to see if we can get a look on the storm here from Jaden. Jaden Pappenheim. I guess he's just trying to get a lot of distance from it. I don't know. I don't know where he is. He doesn't have like one of those little map things. I know he's right next to this tornado warning storm. I just don't know if he's going way out ahead. He's going to turn around at some point. He's definitely going to turn around if it produces. Until he does that, until the storm produces, it seems like he's just going to keep driving to get some distance. Yeah, latest scan on the storm looks like rotation is now starting to develop near our mesocyclone over there south of Maysville. Still want Maysville to be in their safe spots here in Oklahoma. And check the velocity south of Weatherford. I mean, can, but I don't think I'm going to see much. Yeah, there's nothing. No dangerous. It looks like they did downgrade this. So our little theory here that there might not be as big as hail as that last warning was saying is correct. They did downgrade this tornado or this severe thunderstorm warning to golf ball sized hail, which still can cause some damage. Okay, looks like we are finally getting a view here of our tornado warned supercell. There it is. Let's listen into Jaden right now.
From the south, it's definitely trying to get reorganized. Jordan, you're right. It doesn't have a wall cloud, but it's kind of got like a little nipple forming underneath it.
Oh.
Not the nipple.
Got a nipple alert. Basically means either a funnel trying to develop or a wall cloud trying to develop.
On that highway that runs east of 35 to Paoli.
That's storm chaser slang for you. You got to learn the language. He's definitely sitting in that inflow, and you can see that inflow winds are definitely decent on this storm. Yeah, I think he's just outside of Maysville. So that's what he was doing. He was just trying to get out in front of it so he could turn back around. But this is the tornado warned storm. It looks healthy. Oh my gosh, and it's a dog. Oh. Cute little puppers. Little doggo. The latest scan here does seem like that rotation is increasing. Rotation is increasing.
It's turning southeast.
And we now have...
Plan, I think, guys.
Yeah, it looks like the chasers are thinking this storm's about to plant a tornado.
30 minutes, I'd say.
And they're saying that there's right to left, which is what we're seeing here on our radar as well. New tornado warning has been issued out over here for Paoli, Pauls Valley, and Wynwood. You guys need to be in your safe spots as the storm approaches. And it's Pauls Valley, Wynwood, Paoli here in Oklahoma.
Yeah, I think it's going to do it here soon. It looks good.
Yeah, storm chasers are thinking the storm is about to plant a tornado.
Just wait.
Oh, they just re.
Oh, don't lose signal right now. It'll be back. He's in a stable signal area. Just give it a moment. Just give it a moment. We'll come back to him. But yeah, they're talking about this storm having a lot of left to right. Because we have a little area here of circulation. That's our mesocyclone, still latched onto the warm front. If you live in Paoli, Pauls Valley, and Wynwood, you should be in your safe spots. This is just south of Oklahoma City, now moving away from the Oklahoma City area. And folks need to be in their safe spots. This is a storm that's in a dangerous position here. I have to like refresh this. What's going on here? I mean, he was in a perfect spot here for service. Yeah, I had to refresh it. I will keep that in mind for next time. I don't know how to work YouTube live feeds.
Getting on it. I'm close. Just wait.
Oh, it's Pauls Valley. It's trying to plant a tornado just west of town. It's trying to plant it right now. Rapid motion. Let's get east of the river here.
All right, looks like
It's trying to plant it right now. It might do it. I think it's trying to do it right now.
It's like he's trying to. Yeah, I don't
I
know.
love how the excitement in Jade's voice made it like lighter.
Okay. I don't know if it planted it or not.
Oh wow, lots of motion back in there.
Okay, it hasn't planted. Okay. He said, like, he literally like turned the car away from the storm as soon as he started screaming that a tornado was about to come down. So I was like, I didn't know. I don't know if it was actually dropping or not. But he said it's not dropping, that there's still rapid motion, and he's going to try to get over the river before it plants. So if you live over there near Paoli, Pauls Valley, still continue to be in your safe spots. We are still getting reports that this storm has some decent motion on it right now. Again, talking about that right to left motion is dangerous, because that means that the bottom of the cloud is rotating and could drop a tornado at any moment. So make sure you guys are in your safe spots out here. As you can see, this is a very healthy supercell right now, and it could easily try to plant. Let's listen in.
Due east option, the east side of Pauls Valley. I'm gonna get.
Wow, lots of motion. I can't hear Jordan. Yeah, we got to get through Pauls Valley right now. Pauls Valley, you need to be in your safe place. If you're in Pauls Valley, Oklahoma, take shelter. This thing's getting ready to produce a tornado. It could be a strong tornado. Everybody in Pauls Valley needs to be in their safe place. Please share the stream around. Pauls Valley, Oklahoma. This is not a joke. Get in your safe places right now. Rapid motion in the wall cloud. It's getting ready to produce a tornado just west of town. Pauls Valley, you need to be in your safe place.
Everybody's taking their sweet time today in Oklahoma.
There you go. I agree with everything he said. Definitely could get a strong tornado out of this storm here. And as you can see, there's your area of rotation still within our mesocyclone. Still no debris ball. Still no reports yet that this is on the ground, but this thing is on the cusp of producing a tornado. Pauls Valley, Paoli, all need to be in their safe spots here as the storm approaches. There's Highway 35 right there. Paoli's right here. Pauls Valley's right here. Our storm is just to the west of I-35 near White Bee. Or wait, what is that? Oh gosh. Yeah, that rotation's getting pretty strong here. We might be on the cusp of a tornado. Might be on the cusp. This thing's probably about to drop any second now. Probably about to drop any second now. Let's come back and listen in just so we can get some confirmation if it does happen while he's not looking at it.
Still no tornado. Very scuddy wall cloud though. Rapid rotation.
Still no,
rapid rotation.
still
Pauls
no
Valley,
tornado.
safe place.
And a wall cloud,
now.
rapid rotation still being reported.
It's gonna drop a big tornado more than likely.
And a big tornado is definitely possible if this storm doesn't get any interruptions.
Well, kind of.
What are our other storm chasers doing? Just curious. I do want to check in on some of our other storm chasers, just to make sure that none of them are like right there. It looks like Storm Intermedia is trying to cut through. Pagey Tornado's not live. And yeah, okay. So it's just Jaden right now that is on the storm. Oh yeah. Look at that. There is definitely a wall cloud on our storm now. There you go.
Wall cloud coming into Pauls Valley.
Not a tornado on the ground yet, but there is definitely a wall cloud. And just based off of the reports that from the storm chasers in the area, that wall cloud has rapid rotation on it. So again, this could easily drop a tornado here.
That's a weak couplet.
Oh wow, lots of rising motion.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm surprised
Yeah.
how classic.
Decent couplet.
It's about to do it.
That might be on the ground right now, actually.
Plants a freaking nice stovepipe just east of Pauls Valley.
Might be dust
I know, yeah.
rising into this thing. As there's a little bit of clutter on the debris.
Hey, it's
Let me zoom in.
Rising
Is
motion.
zoomed in better, guys? Do you want me to zoom in, or should we keep it zoomed out?
Oh no, Paul's Valley, you need to be in your safe place.
Yeah, Paul's Valley needs to be in their safe place. Paoli
Oh, wow.
as
Not
well,
good.
because if this thing includes to the north, it's going to go right into Paoli, Oklahoma. Zoomed in. Okay. Some people are saying zoomed in, zoomed in. Okay. Yeah, if it gets closer, we'll zoom back out. This is the storm we're talking about. We have rapid rotation here just to the west of 35, and it might even be picking up some or kicking up some dust underneath there. But so far, no confirmation yet. I think Paul's Valley, this might go north of Paul's Valley. It already seems like this storm is trying to occlude to the north. I'm kind of worried about Paoli, to be honest. Kind of worried about Paoli at the moment.
East of Paul's Valley.
You see, there's the wider view of our storm here. You see those clouds wrapping into that mesocyclone as well.
There's nothing but lights here.
Ooh. Okay, yeah, thanks. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna go east now then. Yeah, because I haven't made it through town yet.
All right, looks like he's going to reposition. Let's come back over to the big screen here. He's going to try to get out ahead of this storm. So stay tuned, folks, especially if you're over here near Paul's Valley or Paoli. I definitely want you guys to still be staying tuned because we'll be able to also tell if this thing drops on radar. But as you can see on our latest scan, still have a tight couplet on the storm north of White Bead. Still no confirmation of a tornado yet. But this couplet is strong enough to produce a tornado. Keep in mind, this storm is latched on to a warm front right now, which means that is increasing the spin near where the mesocyclone is of this storm. Our mesocyclone is right here. We have a nice inflow into the storm. We get that precipitation wrapping around our greens and reds touching here, which is showing that we have winds moving in this direction and winds moving in this direction. And when they're touching that closely, that indicates that we are close to a tornado. And again, if you live in Paoli and Paul's Valley, I would want both of you guys to be in your safe spots. This mesocyclone, if it does produce a tornado, could eventually go north. All right? That's what an occlusion is. If it continues on its current path, it'll go very close to Paul's Valley. So I want both of these towns to continue to be in your safe spots, even though it looks like in Paoli it might miss you. If we get an occlusion, it's not going to miss you. So again, just be in your safe spots. That's the lowest, most interior portion of your house. As many walls in between you and the outside as humanly possible. A tornado shelter or a basement that is underground. Let me do a quick little severe update over here. It looks like the storm is falling apart here in the Oklahoma City area. Maybe some rain, light to heavy rain coming to Edmond. That seems about it. Storm definitely lost a lot of its marbles back there. Back over here near the Fort Worth area, just to the west of Fort Worth, we have some golf ball sized hail heading up towards Bridgeport. Want you guys to be indoors and away from windows. South of Fort Worth and Dallas, we have this severe thunderstorm warning, mainly warned for damaging winds, 60-mile-per-hour winds. Might have a couple instances of quarter-sized hail in there, but still hard to tell. All right, looks like we are getting reports that this storm might be on the ground, so let's go listen in. Ooh, did he just lose service? He just lost service. Let's do a refresh. That seemed to help last time. It looks like we gotta wait for him to get his service back, but we are having reports now that this might be on the ground. Where are you hearing that from, RG5?
Hey, you guys need to get in shelter. There's a tornado about to touch down west of town. You guys need to get in your safe place right now, please.
Okay, tornado about to touch down from the storm chasers. Might have a funnel on it.
We about to have.
On west of town, you need to get in your safe places. Go get in. Trying to get the word out on PA.
Hey, they're saying it's fully condensed. You're getting reports that we have a fully condensed tornado on the ground.
Why were there no sirens in Pauls Valley? I heard 0 tornado sirens.
Funnel halfway through that on the plan of pipe.
Oh,
Okay,
God, yeah,
funnel
it is.
halfway condensed. It is not on the ground yet.
Oh, yeah, it's down. It's definitely down.
Okay, and another chaser is saying it's definitely down. We're about to get a view of it here shortly.
Oh, here it comes, guys. It's coming down. Pauls Valley being your safe place right now. Tornado coming down. Shit, not good. Not good, guys.
Live drone shot of a tornado on stream.
Yep, I've got it on stream too. Tornado on the ground. There it is. Tornado. Tornado
Yep,
on the ground.
there it is,
Pauls
folks.
Valley. Not good.
We have a tornado that is half condensed down almost on the ground here. I cannot.
Getting strong, getting strong.
Yeah, people are
It's
saying,
strong, guys.
people that are closer are saying this is fully on the ground at the moment. There is the tornado.
Pauls Valley, be in your safe place. Pauls Valley, strong tornado.
Yeah, potentially a strong tornado on the ground right now, just to the north and west of Pauls Valley.
Strong
Again,
tornado in Pauls Valley.
that is this storm right here, just to the north and west of Pauls Valley. There's your rotation. Still no debris, but you can see that we definitely have a large funnel and reports that this is on the ground. So it's not a fully
New
condensed
information.
tornado yet,
This tornado
but it is a
warning.
tornado that is on the ground right now. So again, if you live just to the north and west of Pauls Valley near Paoli, you guys need to be in your safe spots. Again, this is a tornado on the ground just in between Paoli and Pauls Valley. Both of you guys need to be in your safe spots, because remember, if this tries to occlude on the next scan, that's going to come closer to Paoli than Pauls Valley. But if it keeps in its current direction, it's going to try to go to Pauls Valley. So again, both of you guys need to be in your safe spots. This is a tornado on the ground, as you can see here live on our camera feed. This tornado is, I can't tell if it's a strong tornado or not by radar. Definitely have a tight couplet.
It's strong. We've got a strong tornado coming into Pauls Valley.
And it could try to intensify even further. This is just the beginning of
Pauls Valley, you need to be in your safe place.
of this tornado's
Tornado on the ground.
life cycle. All right, let me increase the contrast a little bit. Looks like it's getting kind of washed out.
Congrats on the capture. Hopefully it's not hitting anything. Little white cone.
Not little.
Yeah, it is.
I can't tell if it's still on the ground or not. I'm waiting for confirmation, as it's half condensed. Even if a tornado is not fully condensed, it can still cause damage on the ground. So I'm trying to hear if we still have that confirmation, because it looks like it's lifting.
Yeah, it's 100% including.
Yeah, it's going up. Tornado's going up.
Yeah, it looks like the tornado is currently lifting,
It's probably gonna be a monster.
Okay,
but it's still latched onto that warm front.
It's up. Thank God.
They're thinking that it's occluding right now, which means it's going closer to Paoli, which means if it tries to like rope out and drop down last second, it might be closer to Paoli than Pauls Valley.
Okay, it's up. It's up, guys. It's up.
That's
It's
good
occluding.
news.
Let's go east. Let's get east of the Conga line.
Great news. It looks like it lifted before it went into either Pauls Valley or Paoli. But again, this is still a dangerous storm right now. This is going to be one of those storms that could easily recycle and just plant multiple tornadoes. So again, if you live in Paoli or near Pauls Valley, you need to be in your safe spots. Again, as long as we see this storm continue to push to the east, it means it's latched onto that warm front, right? All right. So as long as it stays latched onto that warm front, it's going to be a tornado problem. So I still want folks out here to continue to be in their safe spots. This is still a dangerous storm as it pushes off to the east towards 19 north of Pauls Valley. Let me see where Storm Hunter Media is. Okay, they are just about to pop out on this storm. They have like a 360 camera, so even when they're running from the storm, we'll be able to get a view on the tornado if it does try to drop again. So we'll probably drop Jaden since we're near our hour with him, and then we'll probably bring Storm Intermedia to Jaden's spot. What program am I using? This is radar. I mean, this is WeatherWise that I'm using right now. WeatherWise radar. Yeah, you can see on our velocities here, our rotation is definitely a lot weaker than what it was. But if you live in Paoli and Paul's Valley, I'd still be in your safe spots. This thing could still try to recycle pretty quickly. That does happen every now and then when a storm is latched on to a warm front. Again, there's a lot of vorticity in this area, which means there's a lot of spin where that mesocyclone is. So very, very possible that this thing could quickly do a recycle and then drop yet another tornado. So I still want folks out over here to continue to be in their safe spots over here near Paul's Valley and Paoli until we figure out what's going to happen with this thing, because it still could occlude straight north, drop another tornado close to Paoli. That's still technically a possibility there. Let's come back. Oh my gosh, look at the storm that went through Oklahoma City. It is now just a ghost of its former self. It has evaporated. Yeah, it looks like these storms over here near Fort Worth, look like Dallas might just completely dodge a bullet. Man, how many hail threats do you guys get and just actually not get much hail? It happens so often in Texas. It's crazy. You will subscribe to my channel. Yeah, guys, please hit that like button and also consider hitting that subscribe button. It does help us grow a lot. So I do appreciate it if you already have done that. But if you haven't, I would greatly recommend it because we do go live. We do cover these events often. We have plenty of storm chasers to choose from. So if you ever have any storms nearby you again, we'll be here. We do national coverage, so we're always here. All right, let's go check back in Storm Intermedia. Yeah, they're almost out of the precipitation. So I'm gonna oh, and Pagey is live too. That's awesome. Okay, so we have Pagey, Storm Intermedia. Okay. Where is Pagey, by the way? Where do I even have her? Here's Storm Intermedia. And that's Pagey. Okay, so they're near Bryan County, so they're way south. Okay. All right. So let me do some switcherooing here while we have a little bit of time. There's Storm Intermedia. I want Storm Intermedia over here. We can take that off. So, and then I want AG tornado down here. Okay. That should do. All right. Yeah. Latest scan on this storm, that rotation is pretty much gone. Storm has officially occluded, and the tornado is off of the ground. Still keeping an eye on this storm. Its movement is very important. See how it's moving to the southeast? That's how our boundary is oriented. If this thing all of a sudden starts lifting up to the north, that means it's become unlatched from our boundary. So still want folks over here near Paul's Valley and Stratford to be in their safe spots. The motion of this storm still indicates that it's latched onto that boundary. So although it doesn't look dangerous now, it can definitely rewrap back up. Kind of like what we've been saying before when this storm tried to do that before. So again, be in your safe spots out here still as we continue to try to figure out what this storm is doing. Wow. Look at this view from Storm Intermedia. That's the storm.
it's gonna have mold growing in that Corolla by the end of the week. All right.
Definitely want a storm, guys. Definitely want a storm.
Looks like
Looks pretty gnarly, yeah. It's definitely a tall storm, blocking out a lot of that sunlight, so it looks dark.
To be fair, it never really had a big low hanging. It was like kind of
It was an uncondensed tornado. I don't even think it ever fully condensed. It was always half condensed.
skinnier wall cloud, and then it just dropped right out of it.
Yeah. It didn't have much of a wall cloud, to be honest. It had a little wall cloud.
Got a beautiful RFD cut on it. I wouldn't be surprised if it does it again. Got no reason not to.
Yeah. Yeah, I could easily recycle and try again. But as of right now, the look on radar, what's happening is that our inflow is collapsing at the moment. See, our inflow is very skinny. Before, it was a lot bigger. Let's go all the way back. You see how wide the inflow was right before it produced a tornado? A lot wider here. See a lot of that rain and precipitation wrapped around it. That little area of circulation, and then it dropped. And then now look at what it looks like now in comparison to that. Look how small it is.
Tornado warning has been issued.
Look how small that inflow is. Very, very small inflow. New tornado warning has been issued. That's still for the same storm. Okay. Interesting. What? I'm confused. This thing's got 2 warnings. Move out of the warned area and is going to expire. Okay, so they're going to allow this to expire. Okay, that was weird. They issued a warning but it's still there. Oh, okay. No, that's what happened. They extended it, but weather-wise glitched out. So if you live over here near Stratford, I'd be in your safe spots there. That's a tornado warning. Golf ball sized hail. It doesn't look like they're going to allow this tornado warning to expire, but they're going to keep this one there as they just issued it. So again, if you live in Stratford, I'd be in your safe spots. This is still a storm that could easily try to produce a strong tornado. Not sure if the first one was strong, but it was definitely a tornado nonetheless. Doesn't really look like there's much here in terms of any like funnels or anything like that. I don't even see much of a wall cloud. Let's listen back into that radio feed though, see if we can get any information.
Thank you for the super chats. Yep, guys, whenever it is in front of us, there's now the fire trucks going north.
Jordan, you haven't passed me yet. You must be a ways back there. No, I definitely passed you. I'm just behind your vehicle backing up onto the highway.
Fire trucks heading north out of Paul's Valley.
Hopefully it didn't hit anything.
Oh, there you are.
Hopefully that did not hit any structures.
You can kind of see that there is a little bit of an RFD cut right there. But on radars, on radar, as far as I can tell, I am not seeing an RFD cut.
At the moment, there's just
Or a new mezzo.
I don't see any left or right.
Okay, getting reports that there is no left to right on the storm.
Right where I need to be if it was going to produce, so.
It almost looked like what yesterday did, where it produced really quick, and then it lifted.
Yeah, I could be crazy, but I swear the outflow boundary is a decent ways ahead of it on radar now.
All right, Connor thinks there's an outflow boundary ahead of the circulation. Let me see if I can see what he's talking about. Might show up on velocities. Maybe. He might be right. That could be the cold pool of the storm right in that area. If it goes outflow dominant, that's it. Like, and if that RFD never surges again, this storm's pretty much done for. If that is truly an outflow boundary, but we'll see. We'll be able to get a better understanding once that outflow boundary scoops up a little bit more moisture and it becomes a little bit more apparent on radar. But right now, that could be something or it might not. Kind of hard to tell. Look like Joe Goldberg. Who is that? Y'all keep telling me I look like people that I have no idea who they are. Oh, no, not that guy. Oh, no. The serial killer from that one Netflix show? It's not a good comparison. It's never good. I guess that's a compliment. I don't know. You are funny. All right, latest scan on our storm. Still want Stratford, Oklahoma to continue to be in their safe spots here. This storm is still continuing to struggle at the moment. Still continuing to struggle. No apparent rotation. Still a very skinny inflow into the storm right now. Like Pagey tornado is down on this storm. Just got warned over here near Atoka with 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. That's the storms they're on. This one doesn't have that much of a chance for a tornado right now, but as the lower level shear picks up as we go later into the day, probably like around 9 p.m., there will be a chance. Back down here over Corsicana, we're still watching this storm. This storm threat just has not played out as any of the models have said so far. So I guess this is probably a classic bust happening over here. But we still have a storm with some hail, ping pong ball sized hail running down Runway Bay. But is it 4-inch hail? It is not. These storms are not behaving according to the models. Which is great for the Dallas area. All right, Storm Runner Media is looking at something. Let's listen in. Let's listen to all the storm chasers continue to poop on the storm. We like it when they make fun of a storm. It's always good.
They must have went. So we went right over where that tornado was. On 35. The touchdown just west of 35.
It was literally a 5-minute difference.
Wonder if there's any property damage. There very well could have been. But you'll always see like policemen and fire trucks drive out to where a tornado might have been. You'll always see that. But like even if there's not damage. But I think the fire trucks is usually when there is damage. No, I didn't complete the word. Shut up. If this storm drops a tornado in Ada, it would be the 3rd tornado in Ada in a year. Wow. I mean, and it's possible, I guess. It still seems to be latched onto the warm front, so I wouldn't rule it out for Ada. Ada doesn't need to be in their safe spots, but if this storm were to, you know, become a little bit more tornadic, it's moving not that fast. So if you live in Stratford, you still probably have a decent amount of time. I'd be more worried about Stratford, and then, you know, if you can actually get really rooted onto the boundary, then that's when we're going to be a little bit more concerned about Ada. But if it just keeps producing like really brief tornadoes, then, you know, it'll be a lot more uncertain for the Ada, Oklahoma area. But it is, you guys are kind of lined up on that warm front pretty well, unfortunately. No, that tornado warning was just because, or that little blaring noise was just because they drove into the tornado warning polygon. And at what it looks like right now, I mean, we got a solid mesocyclone still. I mean, and maybe even a wall cloud under there. It definitely still looks like a pretty beefy storm. It doesn't look like it's dying yet. Still radar indicated here. Any strong rotation, still has an inflow. Let me try looking at this storm from another radar. See if we can see if there's any boundary or like outflow boundary on it. Yeah, unfortunately, none of the other radars have better views. Let me look at the rotation aloft. I bet you it's stronger than near the surface. No, not really. Yeah, just not a whole lot of rotation on this storm, at least on radar. Man, look at this from Storm Hunter Media. Oops, wrong scene. This view from Storm Hunter Media is crazy, though. How are there? I thought there weren't supposed to be that many trees in Oklahoma.
Join the stream, please make sure you're smashing that like button, hitting that subscribe button, and ringing that notification bell. Appreciate you guys for getting us over 1,000 likes already. We really appreciate
A new tornado warning has been issued.
Wow. New tornado warning has been issued for this storm. This storm, this is the one that Pagey tornado was on. Near Caney, Oklahoma, needs to be in their safe spots. You see what this looked like when they were on it. Because they were just looking at it. I mean, he's definitely got an organized base and decent updraft. The storm's quite in a radar hole right now. Here's the most recent look at it. If these trees can get out of the way. Huh. Not sure why they warned it. There's not really like a wall cloud on it or a funnel. It's interesting. That's this southern tornado warned storm here. So if you live in Caney, I'd be in your safe spots. Warning says observed. No, it says radar indicated. See? Radar indicated. You were delayed. That's all right. Oh, wow. Look at this view from Patrick of the storm near Pauls Valley, Oklahoma. It's a nice view. This is the view from Storm Hunter Media, a lot closer to the base of the storm. Still needs some time, in my opinion. Doesn't look outflow dominated, though. This looks like it's going through some sort of a cycle here. We're watching for is this appendage here on the southern side of this storm to get maybe a little bit more extended down to the south. Patrick, yeah. Beyond, I think it's beyond weather, beyond chasing. And this is that storm near Stratford. It's radar indicated. It's got some golf ball sized hail there south of Bayers. And yeah, we'll see what it does. Also, looks like a northern split, a very messy northern split just happened on this storm. I wouldn't rule that out maybe causing some severe weather, like low end severe weather near Tecumseh later. Stay away from Ada. Yeah. Let's just hope this thing, decouples from the boundary and just falls apart. Still a really cool view there from Patrick. This is Pagey Tornado, who is on that southern tornado warning. If we can get these trees to clear out, I want to see if we can get a view on this dang thing. Yeah, Patrick's view is nice. His camera like captures the like probably what the storm looks like a lot better than Storm Runner Media does. And I'm not sure if that's like a camera choice that they use or what, but it always looks like a lot more grungy on their stream than like other chasers. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Yeah, but we're not looking at the base of the storm yet. We'll come back over to her when we're a little bit closer to the base of the storm. Near New Hampshire, really? Yeah, there's a couple areas of circulation, and none of them are that this might be like a mountain. No. I mean, they're not that strong, but 1-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds are heading towards Woodstock. Tornado is technically possible out here, but we haven't really seen that happen. And back over here in Massachusetts, we have a 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour windstorm heading towards Sunderland. I mean, it looks like this thing has a lot of rotation on it, but I'm not sure if that's just wacky radar signals, though. This thing is in the definition of a radar hole, so hopefully we can get a good view here from Pagey Tornado here in just a little bit. On the middle video, on this one, no, that's just some scud. Did the Atlanta Braves and Red Sox game happen? I have no idea. Is it like a big stadium that's like got an open ceiling, or look at this. We got a rainbow on Pagey's stream, so there's definitely a threat for rainbows out here and leprechauns. Maybe even some gold. Now, the storm still looks like it's struggling near Stafford. That is not a look of a storm that's about to produce a NATO still. And on radar, still kind of the same thing. It looks like it's struggling to get that inflow back together here. It is struggling a wee bit. We'll see what happens. If I had to guess, this storm should still have some potential to try again. But I am curious. Let's listen into them for a little bit, because what I want to hear is like what the temperature is like near them. Like if anybody's talking about how cold it is. All these trees. This just must be the tree part of Oklahoma. I thought y'all were just like all flat land. Leprechauns are probably pretty strong. I don't know. I'm pretty sure you could just kick a leprechaun 40 yards if you really had to. No matter how strong they are, they're still going to fly. It's trying to fight you.
Okay, hopefully at the top of the hill we get some visibility here.
Need to visit. There's way more trees. I've been to Oklahoma before, actually.
Oh, what the hell?
I storm chased in Oklahoma, and I actually caught 4 tornadoes on that storm chase.
My bad. I totally forgot you.
I'm a really good storm chaser.
Literally.
I'm good at reading mesoscale analysis. I'm good at reading radar. I'm good at reading storm motions.
Into the tornado.
Is that a lake? Oh, yeah, they'll definitely get a view here. I just never storm chased because I never have time. This is like Gunnersville Lake. A nice view.
Oh, this is Ben behind me. I was like, why is this dude following me?
Oh, it's Ben. Is this Charles?
No.
So dark. Why is their camera always so dark?
What's up? Huh? Yeah. I don't know. I didn't know that was you. I was like, why is this dude following
Hey, folks,
me?
if you haven't yet, hit that like and subscribe button. Because why not? Pushing buttons is fun.
Is it this one kind of north? That I don't know. It's just all.
I didn't get the annual Ben.
What I'm listening for here, I want to see if they're talking about any cooler air around the storm, because if they get cooler air before those storms get to them, that means it's outflow dominant.
We were 5 minutes too late.
This road network is out.
Which means that it's probably not going to produce again if it becomes too outflow dominated. That's what I'm trying to figure out here.
Make it down 35, and then Jordan made it. And he said,
What's going on with their service? That's not helpful. All right, we'll go back to radar. But I can't really see an outflow boundary on radar that well. Let me go back to the velocities. See if it's... Yeah, that might be a boundary here. It kind of looks outflowy-ish. Yeah, and this storm is starting to get a little bit spaghettified. It's pretty much completely inflowless. I wonder if it's still latched onto the warm front. Let's come back over to here. Checking on these storms. Haven't talked about them in a while. This is near Bridgeport, Texas. This one's warned for 70-mile-per-hour winds. Wow. You live in Bridgeport and Chico, watch out. 70-mile-per-hour winds and potentially some golf ball-sized hail are coming your way. You're going to feel that storm. And back over here, we got 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds heading towards Corsicana. They just extended this warning up to Alvord and Bowie, Texas. Guys need to be indoors and well away from your windows there.
did the same things I did yesterday.
Yesterday I was 5-10 minutes late to every torque, just like off timing barely.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I was hoping we were going
Yeah, yesterday, Storm Owner Media showed up probably 2 to 5 minutes late to almost every tornado that happened yesterday in Kentucky.
We got 75 dudes.
They were very unlucky. Surface inversion, they're saying.
See the rotation?
No.
Getting over by a bunch of sheep.
Probably gonna
Say there's a bunch of sheep?
up here. Yeah, I guess there is movement up here.
What is with that? A little nipple in there off to the west.
See, I don't know what off to the west means from their perspective.
Uh-oh. Got another nipple alert. That's it right there, what they're talking about. It could be something, or it just could be the shape.
We're not in a bad spot.
Not all shapes mean the same thing, even though they all look similar. Like in some storms, that bowl shape means a really strong tornado is about to drop. In this storm, it's just a small area where there's. What's that out in the distance though? Like all the way to the right. Look at that. What is that?
Yeah, I see Wispy. Yeah, definitely the area of circulation is just off to my northwest.
There's even a little RFD cut around that.
Up here, and there's also another one back.
It's sucking up a lot of scud up underneath it too.
See the meso like right there.
I can't tell. I'm not gonna call it a funnel or anything
A little bit of like a clear
because
trying to wrap around, but
oh, we lost our view.
yeah, see it, yeah.
Yeah, I see that rising scud over there, and I'm like, what's
Oh,
going
no.
on over that way?
Over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could have
Let me check the radar here.
There definitely was a minute ago.
Yeah. The storm is like 0 rotation. It's still close to the boundary though, so like maybe a land spout could be possible.
See, at times it wants to make a southeast jog. I mean, if it does a southeast jog again,
Yeah, it
and
has
it
no
picks up any
organized
kind of
stuff
like
right now.
nudger or merger or anything, it could, you know. Unfortunately, there's no. This thing I'm trying to shit.
There is not a storm nearby this storm. It is not getting a nudger. This storm is all by itself. And it might have just kind of choked itself out here because of all of its cold air that it produced. I mean, it's had a lot of rain inside of it. So, and that storm actually might be done. Little update over here. This storm has moved out of the tornado warning and they still haven't extended it. So they're going to be allowing that one to expire. Just FYI. Do have some storms trying to get started over here near Amarillo and Pampa. Whoa, what are they looking at? What is that? Ah.
That's northeast of us.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go east.
Yeah, black. There's more chaser convergence than I thought for today.
Well, it's a Saturday in Oklahoma in May.
It's Saturday. It is the week that you're all right.
Okay.
And there's a lot of motion all up under there.
Okay. We can go east and keep up on it, because eventually it will cross whatever that main road is. I can't remember.
Yeah, it kind of looks outflow dominant to me.
They're all
But
looking at it over there.
who knows? Maybe it tries again. So wouldn't let your guard down just yet. But I got a feeling our tornado warning is about to expire unless they're going to continue to be cautious on this storm.
Wave at us anymore.
That's true.
He used to back in the day. We used to be the A team, and now he doesn't know who we are.
Oh, that's not true.
Okay, guys, we're gonna continue.
That's the latest. It's an interesting storm. Seems. Oh gosh, I just swallowed maybe too big of a pretzel piece. It seems a little undecisive or indecisive right now. It doesn't really know what to do. But if you live over here near Bing, might be about to get some heavier rain and some hail. Stafford, though, I'd still be in your safe spots just in case. But as of right now, we're not seeing any signs of life in this storm. Bazzy, you are a fart machine today. My goodness, that's like the 4th fart. That's the 4th fart. Oh my goodness gracious. I just gave him some chicken. He's just sitting under my feet and he just keeps farting. What you doing, Chazzy? Oh, you want to come up here so you can fart closer to my nose? Come here, Chazzy. I see. I see what your plan is, Mr. Mubs. He's a good boy. All right, let's go check back in on our Texas storms. Here near Denton, this storm is warned now for 65 miles per hour. So watch out there in Denton, Sanger, and Pilot Point. Definitely going to have some elevated winds, maybe with some even power outage potential there. And then back over here near Bowie, still dealing. Looks like they downgraded this to 60 mile per hour winds, golf ball sized hail. So not 70 mile per hour winds anymore. Back over here near Corsicana, still dealing with 1 inch hail, 60 mile per hour winds. Slow moving storm at the moment. This is the MCS we thought we were going to get further up to the north. This is definitely seems to be trying to do some sort of MCS thing here. Check back up in Massachusetts and Vermont. Still got this storm over here with 1 inch hail, 60 mile per hour winds heading towards Bellow Falls. And then back over here in Massachusetts, still a 1 inch hail, 60 mile per hour wind storm, mainly heading for Amherst. We'll probably go north of Northampton. Might get just a little bit of wind down there still. And back over here near Mississippi, south of Lake Providence, we got 1.5 inch hail. That is ping pong ball sized hail going towards 61. And then back over here in southern Alabama, we've got another hailstorm here with some $half sized hail, 60 mile per hour winds, moving down to the south and east towards Mixonville, Commerce, and Providence. By the way, they've officially allowed this tornado warning over here near Atoka to expire. And this storm is looking maybe a little bit more interesting here. It seems like it's trying to maybe latch back on to the boundary. Maybe it's not done. What do you think, Chazzy? You think the storm's going to try again? No. Can you just stay up here the whole stream, Chazzy? How you feeling, Mr. Bobbis? All right. But that's the latest on this storm. Still not seeing a whole lot of strong rotation, but it does maybe look like it's going to attempt again to try to latch onto the boundary. That's a big maybe. Still want Stratford to be in their safe spots as we still try to figure out what the heck this storm's going to decide to do here. Yeah, I mean, tomorrow we have another tornado risk for the Wichita area. That'll probably be your biggest threat for strong tornadoes tomorrow in Wichita. And day 3, you'll have another chance, which will probably be more removed from the stronger tornado threat. But there still might be some strong tornadoes possible at the beginning of the event on day 3. You're going to have a lot of little supercells possible out here. Could be pretty active in terms of tornadic activity. A decent lower level jet. Could be some issues with some capping, but still remains to be seen what's really going to happen. But overall, 3 out of 5 is nothing to mess around with. Wouldn't even rule out a 4 out of 5 for that day. All right. Latest scan on our storm is in. Kind of looks outflow dominant here near Stratford. Everything wrong with dogs can be fixed with good food. Probably not. Thankfully, you were a groomer and not the vet. Fortunately, a steak dinner will not fix a dog's cancer. Or even a dang toothache, will it? No, it won't. Over here near San Saba, 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds is moving up to the north and east. You said almost? Oh, did you? Okay, sorry, I mixed that. Okay, yeah, I see that. All right. My bad. My B. Oklahoma's under tornado watch. You guys are, but there's literally only one storm with tornado potential right now. There could be more storms later if the models are correct. We should get storms eventually. Try to initiate over here in northwestern Oklahoma. That's going to be a late night type deal.
They're not paying attention. They're gonna smack them. This thing might be about to produce.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right here.
It is rapid rotation. It just is not like.
They're saying it might be about to produce. Trying to see if I can see what they're seeing. Yeah, today's enhanced wrist is already busted.
Hell is up here.
Everyone's right here, yeah.
Right in there. I'm about to be at your location, Stormrunner. Is it heading for you?
Actually, the eastern portion of the enhanced wrist still has potential.
Holy crap.
Dude, look at all these chasers. Oh my goodness.
I mean, I don't blame people for wanting to stop
I
here.
hear one of the news helicopters.
Yeah, it's right up there. We gotta
That's right here, but
there's an east road right here, that's it.
There's definitely motion there.
East Road right here.
Yeah, because
Look at that motion.
until you get up further and then you start getting into the precip.
That's true.
There's definitely more motion on their stream here than what is being indicated by radar, but it's more of just rising motion. I don't see a whole lot of actual rotation.
Wow, what is this? This is right here.
Also, rapid motion further to the east. I don't know what's going on with that.
It's formed a new updraft further east.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of chasers out there. Yeah, I love it when storm chasers complain about all the chasers on the road. Like they're like entitled to the road all to themselves. Like, why is there so many chasers out here? It's like, you do realize you are one of those chasers, right? And there's a little bit of broad circulation here. It's not very strong yet. I still think it still appears to be somewhat outflow dominant, but it does look technically a little bit healthier. Everybody has a right to chase. Yeah, it's looking interesting. Let's go back and look at it. There might be just more rotation than what the radar is saying. I want to get a good look at this feature.
Over here, there's this off to my left. Rapid rising motion out to the left. There's so much dust right now, I can't freaking see. Dude, look at how the sinking motion right there.
Funnel. There's a funnel there.
say?
There.
North of you guys?
Where's the funnel? Is that what they're talking about? Is the funnel?
That's some really rapid sinking motion in there.
You were broken.
Might be a funnel, but what we're looking at on this screen is not a funnel. It's just sinking motion.
I do not see this funnel. Oh, wait. Damn, no, I don't see it.
Coming through, but if you...
Yeah, Stratford, Oklahoma. I'd still be in your safe spot. We're getting conflicting reports out of this storm. I'm trying to figure out what the heck's actually happening here. Someone screamed funnel, but then Stormwater Meteor says they don't see a funnel, so I'm trying to figure it all out.
Yeah, right here. That's where it's centralizing. Huh?
I said it's not where that was pointed.
All right, let's go check radar. We just got a new scan in. Definitely got an RFD surge happening. Still not a whole lot of rotation there. This over here, I believe, is contaminated. Like that's legitimate rotation. This back over here, there's our mesocyclone. There's not a whole lot of rotation there yet. Oh my goodness. That looks interesting. What is that?
Because of this.
That is a smooth feature. I can't tell if that's the lighting or... Okay, that's just the lighting on it. It looked like a funnel there for a second.
Because everybody is, you know...
Use that camera. It's got mud all over it.
I like this camera better anyways. Has better lighting.
Everyone's stopping. To look at it. Why is the stream phone saying we can't use it?
Because it lost connection. Starlink's out.
No, it says at maximum you can't break connection.
I know it says that, and that's what happens when it loses connection. My phone does the same thing. So Starlink is out. I don't know why, but it's not on.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like it's... doesn't look that... What is that?
Roof camera's useless.
Is that Ethernet 3?
It's up on the left side there.
No, it's WLAN 0.
Oh,
Yeah, on the left side, look at that.
Which I'm assuming is not doing anything.
It's back now.
I wonder if it's a wall cloud trying to develop. It's not very funnel-like, but kind of looks like maybe a baby wall cloud, maybe?
It's not really going to function very well out here, unfortunately.
A nice lowering behind me, but I'll have to hit my east road here. Like
I'm losing confidence that it's actually going to do anything because it keeps trying and then it just doesn't. Like, that looks like a funnel right there, but...
Yeah. It's not that smooth.
I got what looks like a funnel right here. I just don't know if it actually is one.
If it reaches to the ground, then we'll know. That's science for you. Not sure, but if it turns into a tornado, then it was a funnel.
Hold on, guys. This road sucks.
Man, their camera's so blurry. But let me see if yeah, unfortunately Patrick is out of...
And I'm sorry, but that's just where we're chasing today.
There's so many trees. This is like the only place in Oklahoma that has trees.
Here you go.
All right, just got a new scan in. Let's look at the radar. New scan says something's in here. But then on that latest scan, it's gone. So I think that was. I think we can go ahead and chalk that up as side lobe or maybe hail contamination, some sort of contamination there. But yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing much on radar in indicating tornado imminent right now. So, well, that's why we're watching the storm chaser quite a bit here, because we really don't have a great. It seems like there's more happening underneath the storm than what the radar is saying. So, just want to watch until we get a little bit more clarity.
All right, guys, we're trying to see.
Got to be kidding me.
What's back here?
Circulation's getting rain wrapped from my vantage point due north of me, but it is rapidly rotating still.
They're saying rapid rotation now.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
New tornado warning has been issued for Ada, Oklahoma. This is radar indicated, heading off towards the east towards Ada. So if you live in Ada, be in your safe spots. We are monitoring the storms. We will continue to keep you guys in the loop as lots of uncertainty. We are getting reports that there's rapid rotation, even though we're not seeing it on radar. So just give us a moment while we try to figure out what the heck the storm's up to, because we're getting conflicting reports.
I know, I'm gonna rip their heads off. This is just, here we go with the stupidity. Like, that's what I was saying, there's one back west and there's one that might use over there. Is this a good east?
It's gonna keep spinning and spinning, and it's really having a hard time actually dropping something.
If I had to guess, that back in there is the mezzo. Yeah. Very weak service, unfortunately. Almost choked on that. Almost choked on that. So yeah, I don't know. If I were to say what I'm seeing on radar, I would say it has zero rotation. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing some strong winds, potentially here, maybe some stronger winds, potentially here. Keep seeing weird side lobe contamination here. This back here is side lobe contamination for sure. So that's not the spot. That's not the spot. This is still a weird, interesting signal. Is that the true circulation? Not quite sure yet. The best as I could tell. Yeah, see how that just instantly disappeared? Okay, so I'm still pretty convinced that that is side lobe contamination. This should be where our mesocyclone is. And there is nothing there, so I don't know. They keep saying it's rapidly rotating, so I'm not sure if they're just doing like, what's it called? Engagement tactics, or if it's legitimate rotation. It's a little bit confusing, so I apologize. I really am trying hard to figure out what the heck this storm is doing for you guys. I promise. The radar is not saying strong rotation, though. So we're getting conflicting information here. So just give us a little bit longer. I'm sorry. I know it's a little stressful. You always want to know everything that's going to happen, but I'm trying to decipher what the chasers are even talking about here, because they keep saying they see rapid rotation. And I'm just not seeing anything to confirm that on radar. So go listen back in. Nope, never mind. We gotta wait for them to get good service before we can do that. But an update over here near Pilot Point. Still some 65 mile per hour winds possible, and maybe some quarter-sized hail coming towards you guys. And then back over here, north of Bowie, Texas, wind hail, 60 mile per hour winds heading into Munster, and then Bowie here in a little bit in the Kona. No, nothing is normal in Oklahoma. Is it really? Ah, dang it, Chaz. Your farts stink a lot more when they're closer to my face, Chaz. Oh my gosh. That's worse than the jalapenos. That's a spicy fart. Jeez Louise. Over here in Mississippi, south of the Sataria, still want you guys to be indoors away from windows. We're still dealing with some $half sized hail with that storm. And then back over here near Dothan, Alabama, still near Georgina, Georgiana, maybe. Alabama, we have a $half sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds heading towards you guys. And then back over here, the only remainder of our severe thunderstorm warnings out here is over here near Amherst. Again, one after the other. Jesse, I'm sorry. I love you, buddy. I truly do. But those really stank. You just hit me with the double time. My goodness. What did you eat? Eggs? Did you eat a dead bird? All right. Over here near Shutesbury, 60-mile-per-hour winds are coming towards you there. Other than that, honestly, today's been relatively quiet in comparison to yesterday, thankfully. I really tried to hang in there for Chazzy. I did. But they stink. His RFD is really surging right now. Particularly it's PDFs. Particularly dangerous farts. Yeah, I mean, guys, this is about the least looking tornadic you can have a storm look on radar. Chazzy's winds are rotating. Yeah, unfortunately, dangerously close to my nostrils. My nostrils should have been sheltered in their safe spots. Is McAllister safe? Yeah. I mean, everybody's safe from this storm right now. But we're getting really, as far as I could tell, we've lost our only, connection here to all the storm chaser reports that we get from this region. But, this is the least looking tornadic storm I have seen all day. It's really not even that severe. Wait for Storm Owner Media to come back online. Oh. All right. What if there's just like a massive wedge after I've all been saying that? That would have sucked.
He might be in bad coverage too. Everyone out here has been struggling today.
Yeah, I'm gonna proceed. Yep, copy that. I'm doing the same thing.
Not really getting a good look at it, but at least from my perspective, it's still looking healthy. Definitely doesn't look tornado right now, but still healthy.
It's one
Okay.
of those cells that has a bunch of motion but can never centralize it. That's what it's doing.
All right. Now that
I wouldn't say it's a solar flare. I would say that this has to do with just where we are. I don't know. I'm surprised that there's not more cell towers out here.
they say solar flare.
It's not like there's not people that live here.
Okay, so Brandon just said it does not look tornadic from his perspective. And then Storm Owner Media just said that this storm just cannot centralize its rotation, which is just a fancy way of saying the storm is not tornadic. Okay, so finally, some radar storm chaser wording agreement on this storm. So we can now confidently say that this storm is not very tornadic at the moment, but we're keeping an eye on it. By the way, this is side lobe contamination. That is not a legitimate signal. McAllister's safe. Where is McAllister? Yeah, you're safe from this storm for sure. And this is like the only storm that's in our tornado watch right now. These ones down here are not going to be very tornadic. They may actually, maybe if they like get all the way up there, maybe there's like a chance they could eventually latch onto the warm front. Seems like the hail core on this storm, though, at the very least, is increasing. About to head into Marietta and Ardmore. That's got golf ball sized hail on it now. A little bit more of a dangerous storm there. And we got these storms that are trying to develop that might eventually turn into a tornado threat and a damaging wind threat later. If it can get organized. But this is our highest potential here for a strong tornado. If this one kind of dies off and never tries to reorganize, our chances for a strong tornado are going to be dwindling quite quickly. What's the Channel's 9 weatherman saying? Yeah, I've seen enough damage myself. I'm personally a little bit traumatized by all the damage. I was not honestly. I knew the damage was going to be bad in London, Kentucky, but I was not expecting it to be that bad. Like lives got absolutely torn to pieces yesterday, and I've been seeing like it gets posted all over social media, and you just can't get away from it. So I understand that I need it. I've been needing and still need a break from all of that. Shreveport. So eventually you might get this storm if it can maintain severity. It might, I mean, I wouldn't rule it out trying to like reorganize. I mean, but we're at like the end of the day here. So it is possible that these storms, are not really overly, surface based. It might be the cold pool might be keeping these storms a little elevated at the moment. Maybe keeping them from being very mature. Still some question marks down there on what that's eventually going to do. But if it could tap into that instability, I mean, it doesn't seem far fetched that it could eventually, try to produce some more damaging winds. I mean, you can send those into weather chat, I guess, as long as there's not like tornado warnings ongoing. And I think that's where usually people post their damage photos. Yeah, still pretty outflow dominant here. Storm moving into Ada. Looks like maybe Patrick is driving through the hail. Let's listen in.
See you get on the other side of the hook. Alright, we're about to hit some hail. I don't love that we're on the other side of these power lines.
He's in Stratford. Or was in Stratford.
Yeah, every storm chaser's on this storm. Yeah, we're trying to punch through, get on the other side of this hook.
I was thinking there might be hail in there, but it's just rain. No, circulation is not showing up. This is not rotation. That's just a bunch of contamination. Local news trying to confirm a tornado east of Ada. Yeah. We're getting a lot of conflicting reports from the chasers in accordance to our and local news in accordance to what the radar is saying and what some chasers are saying. It's just a mess. It's just a mess. So I'm just going to rely on what I see on radar at this point. We have just a whole bunch of contamination here. That's not a tornado. Again, this is radar contamination. I do want Ada to still be in their safe spots, just in case the storm actually eventually starts to rotate, because there's still a chance it could try to rotate. Channel 9 weather. Well, the Channel 9 weatherman's wrong. I don't know what else to tell you. It is definitely contamination. You can see how all of these signals are all very glitchy. They're not very smooth, and they're all... That is definitely contaminated. I don't know what to tell you. They are just wrong. All right, latest update on our tornado warning. Still radar indicated. Still radar indicated. Still not a tornado on the ground. Still want Ada in their safe spots. Spots. Yeah, see how this looks? Very blocky. Very blocky signal. There's definitely contamination. All right, let's come back over here to Stormrunner Media.
Not really. There's a couple cars. It's not tornadic, so I'm not really rushing.
Okay. Never mind. Let's see where
Ada now.
yeah, looks like beyond chasing or Patrick here is in Ada, Oklahoma.
Okay.
Oko has a chaser in Ada and there's nothing happening at all. Yeah, we have a chaser in Ada as well and there's nothing happening.
Okay.
Like I said, it's contamination.
Keep your eyes, guys. Keep your eyes peeled. Look for a tornado. Should be. Yeah, this got to be.
That's frustrating. Keep your eyes peeled. Yeah, latest scan here. Still a whole lot of side lobe contamination happening over here. I wonder if there's like another radar we can look at with this storm, because this one is just not giving us a really good view on this, unfortunately. Yeah. This is the only radar we can look at, and it's heavily contaminated. Still want Ada in their safe spots. Looks like the rain's clearing out a little bit. Actually get a view in there, maybe.
The inflow's coming into that, guys. Possibly, Lucky. Oh, I think it is. I think you're right, Lucky. That might be a funnel.
There?
Here, let me switch to the wide angle. Yeah, it's real hard to see.
That is not a funnel. I love you, Patrick, but that's not a funnel, my dude.
All right, I'm gonna put my raincoat on and get out there. It's turning, it's rotating.
Not see any rotation. About as still of clouds as you can get. There is like zero motion. But I'm gonna keep watching.
You guys see that? It's rotating. We got a curl in there.
I feel like I'm going crazy. Baseball sized hail coming into Ada.
Go down the. Actually, I'm gonna go down this road just a little bit.
It's warned for ping pong ball sized hail. Where are you getting that? Where are you getting that report from? It's just a lot of scud clouds, and he keeps on saying it's rotating like all the other storm chasers, but I'm looking at it with my eyeballs. It's not rotating. So I don't understand what the heck's going on. I don't know if everybody's just trying to get engagement or what, but it definitely does not align with anything that I'm seeing with my own eyeballs. Or maybe it's just inexperienced chasers. I mean, like Stormbutter Media and Brandon and all these other guys keep on saying that this storm is non-tornadic. As of right now, and they're the experienced chasers. So that makes more sense.
Blinding rain, Cameron. Blinding rain.
That is blinding rain. Let me give you guys a lesson on what's happening here, though. An expert opinion here. So here's our storm. It is outflow dominated right now. What we are watching for this storm is strong winds down here. Strong winds to surge out in this region. RFD to develop, and then a new mesocyclone to form. As of right now, kind of looks like it might be trying to surge there. If it can surge past that outflow boundary and get back into the warm air, reform an inflow, that is when we're going to see this storm try to produce again. But for now, it is outflow dominated. It does not have any strong rotation. All this over here is side lobe contamination. And yeah, that's what we're doing. And what side lobe, let me tell y'all what side lobe contamination is. So we're all on the same page here, because it's apparently something that not everybody is familiar with. So here's your radar here, and then here is your storm. There's the base of the storm, and most of the time, the main lobe is focusing on the storm, part of the storm where we're interested, nearest, closest to the surface. And when you see rotation there, that is concerning. It looks very smooth. The gradient of the colors all look uniform, not blocky, and that's how you know your image is not contaminated. It's something that you understand when you have a lot of experience looking at different radar images. But there, with every radar scan, there's also a side lobe that gets shot out from the radar, and that goes higher into the storm. And if there's a lot of hydrometers up there, like hail or other things, you can get a contaminated signal. And most of the time when the radar scan goes out, the main lobe signal is the strongest, and so that's what shows up on the radar. But sometimes the side lobe signal is stronger than the main lobe, and then you get a false signal of something happening near the surface when it's not. And I know it's hard to explain because it's obvious to me, but it might not be obvious to everybody else. But yes. That is what's happening here. Until we get any other reports. Otherwise, that is what we're going to continue to report here, and we're watching the feeds. We got plenty of chasers that are literally all around this circulation. So we will keep you in the know on what they say, And if a tornado drops, we'll let you know. Can confirm ping pong ball sized hail. Okay, so not baseball sized hail in the storm. It's ping pong ball sized, like it's warned for. Heaviest stuff went north of town. Gotcha. I'm not worried about it. I've been watching. I have covered the most tornado warnings in the nation. For the past 3 years, I have seen the most storms, tracked more storms than anybody else on radar, even more than your local weatherman. So I'm more familiar with these things than they are. This is the only tornado warning your local weatherman has covered in the past weeks, and we just covered like over 200 to 300 in that time frame. So, and there you go. No tornado warning. Why did they let the tornado warning? Isn't there massive rotation over here that's about to plant a super duper tornado mega NATO in that area? No. Want to know why? Because you know who else is smarter than your local weatherman? NWS. They wouldn't have let that tornado warning expire if that was legitimate. Trust me. Yeah, Norman is like the smartest NWS that exists. That's where all your weather experts live and hang out. $100 habanero pepper today? No, I don't have habanero. I still have jalapenos. Maybe we'll do $25 for a jalapeno, since you guys are probably it's all about the shock factor. You guys are probably already desensitized to me eating one jalapeno, so if we lower it down to 25, that'll probably be a little bit more sustainable. Fermented tofu. Ugh. Thank you, Bucky, for the 2. I do not like jalapenos. I like them when they're like in a sandwich. Like, and there's a lot of other stuff around it. And I usually put bits of jalapenos in a sandwich, but I do not like to eat them just raw. I trademarked that yet? No, not yet. Not yet. I'm still wondering whether or not this storm can become tornadic again. Still wondering, because it still needs to surge out in front of that outflow. If it can, I mean, it could definitely try to redevelop an inflow and a mesocyclone, but you can pretty clearly see now that there is an outflow out in front of this thing. They did upgrade this severe thunderstorm warning now up to Hennig-sized hail, 70-mile-per-hour winds, coming through just north of Ada into Homer and Happy Land here in Oklahoma. That's going to be going pretty close to Stonewall, Oklahoma as well. A little update back over here in Texas. We still have these storms moving up to the north. Ping pong ball-sized hail heading towards Marietta, Ardmore, and Dixon. And then we've got this storm down over here with 1-inch hail. Still 65-mile-per-hour winds with that. About to head into close to Gainesville and Whitesboro. We'll see if they keep that going. They did allow this severe thunderstorm warning to expire over here near Corsicana. So it looks like our MCS never developed. And it looks like they are downgrading this severe thunderstorm warning to a special weather statement. And then back over here near Jackson, I got 1-inch hail on this storm moving down to the south and east over Road 3. And that's it. This is still the storm of the hour. But we did hit 77,000. Awesome. Thank you guys for helping me pass another goal. Thank you. Still on the road to 100,000. Will we ever get there? No one knows. Has anyone eaten a century egg? No, I've seen reviews of it, and they're very mixed. Like, it seems like the only people that enjoy century eggs are the ones that already have like really weird like palates. Will not do that. That's too scary to me. Isn't that just basically a really old egg? Like, surely there's a possibility you pick up some strain of like gut back or like of a gut virus that just has never existed before. And no problem, Barb, but thank you for tuning in. $1 for chamoy pickle? What is that? I've never even heard of that. And thank you, Panda, for subscribing. Thank you so much. Wouldn't be a bad idea to warn that storm near Ada. Nah. It's obviously side lobe contaminated. It's about as obvious of a signal as you can get. But I mean, if we get some reports from storm chasers that there's something in there, the thing about side lobe, here's the thing about side lobe contamination is that we don't know what's happening there. We do know this is a clear slot, and that's where our side lobe contamination is lining up to. So we do know that there's not actually a mesocyclone or anything about to produce a tornado here. That's the good news. Bad news is we don't really know what's happening underneath this area in terms of velocities. It would be nice to know if the inflow was increasing or not. Entry eggs are good. And everyone at work and all your friends to sub work at high pressure testing facility for the space industry. And I always put you up on the big screen when severe weather is in our area. Awesome. Hopefully we keep you guys in the know. That's really cool. High pressure testing facility for space industry. Are y'all testing like how materials react under high pressure? Isn't that like a new field of science that everybody's excited about? And thank you, Judy, for becoming or for being a member for 20 months. Thank you. Have been on the job. Yes, we are. Seems like we're always on the job. Seems like we're never not off the job. Any Ohio stuff? I don't know what. Hey, never mind. I'll keep that to myself. No. There's nothing going on in Ohio. Typical Ohio day. Valves and rocket nozzles. Oh, that's pretty cool. And that new pressure, like what elements do in extreme pressure, that fascinates me. Apparently, there's like 18 different levels of ice, depending on how strong the atmospheric pressure is. You can have different types of ice because the atoms and the molecules and the atoms that are bonded inside of it get oriented differently inside of the ice when the pressure gets even stronger. Like if you got like some water, like for instance, you can get ice by freezing it, but you can even have ice close to the core of Earth because water underneath that much pressure is forced to reorient its atoms in a more ice-like structure. Pretty cool. My question to you, Alex, is it still cold ice? Apparently, there's like a lot of cool stuff that can come out of that research too, like exotic materials we've never heard of, or materials with properties that can do really cool things. Like when you put water under extreme pressure, and what is it called? Hold on. Let me get the official name for it. It's like Ice 13, something like that. Why am I on that screen? Sorry about that. Must have pressed a button. And there's 21 phases of ice. Apparently. Yeah, pressure dependent states. Yeah, some estimates suggest that at an extremely high pressure of 225 million psi, ice would develop metallic properties. How cool is that? You could turn water into metal, or water with metal properties. Apparently, they have a science research building that does these tests using lasers. Worked a lot on the urine processing unit on space station. Oh, that's pretty cool. Keeping our doesn't that just turn it into water, right? They can reuse it and not waste it. PSI is almost impossible. Let me see. Where would you find that kind of PSI in? I don't know. All right, latest scan on this storm. I'm not seeing a whole lot of rotation in our where our mesocyclone would be oriented here, but we did just get a new severe thunderstorm warning update for Tupelo, Colgate, Stringtown, and Atoka. And we still got this storm moving up to the north towards Ardmore and Denison. What's these storms up to? And these storms really aren't doing much yet up here in the northwestern portion of Oklahoma. All right, what PSI is the center of the sun? I don't even think it's measured in PSI. Sun's core at a pressure estimated at 265 billion bar, or 3.84 trillion psi. So just outside the sun's core, we probably have pressures great enough for there to be metal like water. But the problem with that theory is that the sun is hot. And so it probably evaporates. But it's technically possible with that much pressure, as long as the water is contained within a container. All right, folks. I think I'm just going to get offline until something happens, until something changes. But I do appreciate everybody tuning in. And we'll be back if needed. We'll see. But we need to keep our energies up and save them for the big days. Yeah, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Huge shout out that everybody liked the stream. Shout out to everybody that donated as well. And the biggest shout out to the mods who have been with us since the beginning. So I will see y'all then.